Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And this is a podcast all about knitting and crocheting and making stuff and things with yarn, all kinds of good stuff.
I just saw what Kathleen's working on.
Oh, I know, it's so pretty.
Anyway.
I thought I would finish it for this episode. I am so not even close to
No,
finish.
you're not finished yet.
I had high hopes. It's good to have high hopes, right?
This is the thing. High hopes are...
It depends on what you're doing. We'll talk about that later in
Yes.
opinions.
Exactly. But yeah, we've got jam-packed stuff going on, so we should probably hop right to what's going on around town, because we have some fun stuff going on around town. What with it being November and sweater weather.
Yes.
Oh, it's beyond sweater weather. I had to pull out the
Just
leg warmers and
This is all I wore outside
mittens
today.
yesterday.
And it's
Today,
chilly.
yeah, but it was 10 degrees.
I know. Yesterday was really cold.
I
Yeah.
haven't busted up my coat yet. I've just been wearing sweaters.
I think I wore my coat one day. Yeah.
I went to the city yesterday, and I'm not a pants wearer. I'm wearing jeans today, by the way.
Ooh.
We're all wearing jeans today.
We are.
This
Ooh, look at
is
us.
not frequent. I was styling my sweater. But yesterday I went to the city and was wearing I wear dresses. Usually I wear them with boots and leg warmers for the commute and then switch to nice shoes when I get in. But I forgot my leg warmers. And yeah, so I actually had to bust out. I found some of Catherine's leg warmers that she left behind at the house.
Nice.
So I was in Barbie pink leg warmers with my black suit.
Oh my gosh.
Love it. Well, I was going to say, if you weren't with the leg warmers, you would have turned into an icicle.
Oh yeah, it was really chilly.
It was in the 20s yesterday
It
morning.
was cold.
Yeah. It was
Well, I
really
mean,
cold.
that is the thing also with the city, and I feel like, and it could have just been because my office was down by the river. I was on West Village, like far west Soho. And I think now they call it Hudson Square. It wasn't Hudson Square when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the wind just tears right through you.
And you know what the other thing I think is, like, in that area, and where I was, down in that area, but then also even like on 6th Avenue, the big wide avenues, the wind just howls through them.
Yeah.
They're like canyons. They really are. It's, But I know, I remember like meeting Irene down there and thinking, it is freaking cold.
It's freaking cold. To the point where you'd be like, all right, you go outside by our office, because Kathleen's sister, Irene, and I used to work together. You'd go down by our office and you'd be like, it is freezing. You go over like one block east and you're like, oh, it's toasty.
It's not so bad.
It's not so bad. And I'm like,
so bad. It's a
fine
nice fall
on
day.
Derrick. It's terrible on Hudson.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's just, honestly, it's the wind.
So I was in Madison Square Park
Ooh.
yesterday, or near there, which is not the same as Madison Square Garden.
No.
If you're
very different.
from New York, it makes no sense.
Yeah. I think it's old and new. I think where the garden
Madison Square Garden is a big arena that's right over Penn Station.
Yeah,
It
which
is
most
not
people have probably heard of.
Aesthetic to walk around.
They call it the most famous arena in the world.
Yes.
They do. They
But
do.
it is kind of.
It's pretty famous.
That's true.
It's where the Rangers play. It's where there's a lot of concerts.
Yeah, a lot of concerts.
Great place to see a concert.
But Madison Square Park is like a 12-minute walk from there.
Yeah.
On like 21st and Park, I guess. Or is it Lexus further, Park, maybe 5th?
It's Park. It's like
Broadway
This
is
is I
on
thought it
one
was
side.
closer to 5th.
It's Broadway. Madison Square Park is like Broadway goes down and then 5th and by the Flatiron.
Yep, yes, it's right by the Flatiron. So 23rd is the bottom of it. 23rd, 24th.
Or maybe it's Broadway and 6th. I think you're right. It's
I
Broadway.
will tell you in a moment.
Kathleen's gonna check because
Anyway, there's a big crochet installation in
Oh,
Madison
cool.
Square Park right now. Yeah, I took some
that's
videos.
so
I'm putting that in here.
awesome.
But yeah, so
11 Madison, so it is right by 5th.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
And at that point, Park and 5th are...
It's like Broadway.
Broadway, that's where Broadway comes in. Broadway is a
Yes.
big angle that goes most of the way through Manhattan.
but the M1 and the M2 run up the side.
Oh, and of course, so just
And
between
one.
Madison and
the bus.
Oh, the bus. I was like, what?
M1. That's the 6th
I
Ave
never
bus.
take the bus. I always take the subway.
I usually do too.
Well, but if you want to go uptown, you can take the M1 straight up 6th Ave, or you can walk over to the N, take it up to Times Square, and then back over.
Yeah, sometimes it's fine.
I always take the subway.
I take the bus in London. I love taking the bus in London, but I always take the subway in New York.
I hate taking the bus in New York. Also, I get
It's not a bad
cars
thing
back.
though. It really isn't. It's a good idea. Like Amanda said, otherwise you're walking, zig and zagging here and there.
Yeah.
So
It'll take you 15 more
Yay.
minutes to take the subway.
Right.
Anyway,
we digress.
I do digress.
Whether
but
the
hope
best
you
way
enjoyed
is-
the crochet installation. Yeah, it's not one that I would
Did
like.
you take
so
any
cool.
pictures?
I took video. I just showed it.
Yay!
Oh, okay. I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
The magic of editing, folks.
It's not one that I would like specifically go to see, but if you're
But
in
if
the
you're
area,
in the area, for sure.
check it
it's pretty
out.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Do you know who did it? Was there info up about it, or was just
No, but I might Google it. It might have been overlaid on top of the
excellent?
go.
video.
So perhaps you know.
Yeah, but
We will find out.
That was a
Yes.
fun
Jen and I
little
will find
fiber
out when
find
we
yesterday.
That's kind of cool. Just stumble upon.
Yeah.
Love that. That's awesome.
All of my projects have things that need to happen with them before I can talk about
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do that. But let's talk about what's going on around town because it's almost Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It is.
First off,
You know what? Honestly, this happens every year, but it's like once it's October 1st, you turn around about 3 days later and it's Halloween.
I know.
You're like,
And
cool.
then on Halloween, you're like, oh my gosh, it's practically November. Today that we're taping is what, the 14th? I
yes.
think so.
Yeah.
I swear November 1st was yesterday.
It was.
Yeah.
And we're halfway through the month. A little bit more than halfway by the
Wow.
time you see this.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
crazy. It really
It
is.
was just teacher It was just.
It was just the teacher convention weekend, which I had to explain to. Was I explaining? Oh, I think I was explaining it to Jonathan. Jonathan was like, because a friend of mine went to Legoland and like half of Legoland was shut down, and they were like,
What?
"Do they not know where you are?" I'm like, clearly, whoever's running that park has no idea.
Yeah, that's
that
crazy.
Teacher weekend
because
is
even
a thing.
I remember going like to Disney and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they call it Jersey
They
Week.
call it Jersey Week. Exactly.
And I was
Yeah.
saying that to Jonathan.
They do
Jonathan
because
was
it's
like,
because all these people have a 4-day weekend, and,
Yeah.
and some people take off longer
and he
because
was
of Election Day being
he
there
was
at the
like,
same time.
why? He's like, why would they know? I'm like, because this teacher's like convention has happened my entire life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's years.
I'm
and years.
47. I was like, and I guarantee you, Six Flags is not like shutting their stuff down this weekend. That past weekend, they'll shut it down this weekend. But like,
Right.
they're not going to cut back hours because they know. And I'm like, Disney calls it Jersey Week.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
they do? And I was like, tell me how you're not from the tri-state area without telling me.
Well,
you're not
but
from
or
the
even
tri-state area.
even from Jersey because it's not something I was aware of as
Really?
a kid. Yeah,
Oh, I mean, you know what?
because New
grew up.
York doesn't do it.
So I grew up Bergen County,
Oh,
north
never
of Bergen
this-
Rockland,
Yes,
right
yes,
on
you were
the
close to the
of
border.
Rockland.
Yeah.
And like, let me tell you, Rockland knew.
Rockland knew, but
Because they were like, yeah,
Brooklyn didn't know.
how come you guys get weeks up?
Brooklyn didn't.
Yeah,
know.
Brooklyn didn't know. But I would think if you were like a Legoland, you would maybe
You would think,
look
right?
at the school closures in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if
realize-
anyone has filled them in now. You know?
I believe my friend did.
Oh, good.
I believe my friend. I mean, granted, she probably told like the teenager working, right? But it
Yeah,
was like,
you know.
y'all, what are you doing?
You need more capacity this weekend, guys.
Because it was jammed, she said. And I was
Yeah,
like, I'm so
yeah.
glad we
Oh
didn't go.
man.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so it's coming up on Thanksgiving. So we have
You want to see a
there are
whip
bunch
go
of-
away? Look, it's going away. It's
So
going to
what-
go away, but it's going to come back.
It'll come back. We'll see. Will it come back like in this podcast?
Oh, yes.
All right. So
oh,
maybe
yes, it's coming right back. And I'll tell you my tale of woe when we get to whips.
It's not that woeful.
It's not that. I mean,
It's-
that's like
You know what?
a
This
cast
is
on and a couple rows.
exactly, but this is what happens when you cast on at 11:30 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't tell the difference between 170 and 180.
Ugh.
And then you try to fudge it, and then you're like, it's
You're
the
like,
very
that's
first row
10
with the sweater.
stitches. You're like,
Yeah, but
it's
it's-
easier to just.
It's better to restart.
It's better to just restart.
So I am.
So yeah, so some of the goings on around town are food drives are kicking in,
Yes.
which is awesome.
We are a collection point
Yes, we are a collection
For-
point for the
for
food
what Kathleen just texted me.
and
The Junior
coat.
League of Montclair and Newark is running a nice big food drive. It is, has already started and is running through January 18th. So we've got a nice big box
good.
here in the store.
Yeah.
They are looking for canned goods like tuna.
Peanut butter, tuna fish, oatmeal, cereal, canned beans, individually packaged snacks, new or gently used, coats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No glass.
So, yeah, no glass containers for any of the food because they are just likely to get broken.
Yeah, and nobody
And-
wants that
No.
to clean
so-
up that mess.
Oh.
But that's awesome. So you can drop off your stuff in store. We have collection bins.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And if you do drop off any coats, they should be obviously gently worn, clean. If you got new ones that your kids never got around to wearing, those obviously are great as well.
Yeah.
And they will be distributed by the Junior League of Montclair and Newark.
Yeah.
So we're really happy to be a collection point for them this year.
yes,
That's great.
which is awesome.
Other collection points, if you're not dropping
Yes.
off here, is also Java Love.
Both locations.
Uptown and downtown, and the Central Presbyterian Church, which is on Park Street, 46 Park Street.
Right near the high school.
Yes.
Yeah, north of the high school.
Yep.
The one right there.
Cool. There you go.
Yeah, so awesome.
So that
and
is-
I'm sure if you guys are not local to us, definitely check out
Probably your drives
food
in your area.
pantries,
Yeah.
near you. Food pantries are always, I like to donate food to food pantries, but I also really like to, everybody is always looking for diapers.
Uh-huh.
Diapers, shampoo, conditioner, spices are a really great
Oh, that's
thing
a nice idea.
because
Yeah.
it's one thing if you get like, pasta or something, but like spices are good, like treats are always good because, everybody likes a treat and, you need treats. Keeps your, cheer up.
Yeah. So while
Um,
you're doing your Thanksgiving shopping, just pop 2 of your canned goods in the
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
bag, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I always try to, especially this time of year, and also like the Human Needs Food Pantry in town is really great about communicating what they need.
Yes. Yeah.
So
If you don't follow them on social media, they're really good about it.
fantastic.
And
they're really well run.
yes, exactly. And they take clothes as well and
Yes.
household goods.
And household goods.
So every Tuesday and Thursday morning from 9 to 11, I believe it
yeah.
is.
And they
then
have usually one
Saturday
Saturday
a
a month.
where you can do drop off.
They're fantastic. And I like
And
to
the
always
number
get
of
diapers
people
and wipes
that they serve is amazing.
Yeah.
They really
and menstrual products.
yes.
That is expensive.
They're very expensive. Yeah.
Mm.
So good ideas
Yeah,
for everybody.
good ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're in a position to donate to a food pantry, please do. And if you're not in a position to donate to a food pantry, that's cool too. And if you need help with anything, food pantries are a great resource because they can also hook you up with other places to help.
Other
Right.
social services.
Other social services. And if you're really
It's a good network.
in a bind, I will also tell you, your public library, the librarians know who to talk to. Some public libraries actually even have a social worker on, not necessarily on staff, but
accessible. They have
an office
yeah.
within the public library.
Nice.
So, and they are very used to this kind of aid. So they might not be able to individually help you, but they can absolutely get you the
kind of
information that you
point
need.
you to the right place.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool.
So anything else around town or Thanksgiving plans for anybody?
Yeah. Well, we know Amanda's going to Alabama, right?
Yeah,
Alabama.
a big group of us are going to Alabama. We're going to be
Fun.
on a lake.
Ooh.
We have 8 people traveling, so hotels are impossible.
Yeah. Much better. Thank goodness for
That's-
Airbnbs, right?
Oh my gosh, right?
That's why we don't go on many trips altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this one is we're gonna do a big Thanksgiving dinner with family, and then since we're on a lake, I hired a fishing guide to come with us Saturday and take everybody out on the lake.
That's
Nice.
so fun.
So we'll be bass fishing.
Oh
On
my god, the
Friday.
kids are going to love
Yeah. Well, and the guide was so funny. I haven't been called Miss Amanda in a long time.
Aw.
I really loved it.
You know you're in the South when.
Miss Amanda.
Oh,
Yeah.
made me feel so happy.
I love
Cute.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I said, you can take the kids out, just show them, talk a little bit about nature or whatever. He's like, well, if we're going out fishing, we're going to catch some fish. I'm like, okay, no.
All right, have fun with that. Good luck.
So, yeah.
Are you prepared to cook the fish?
I'm prepared to cook it. And I said, my dad said he would help oversee the cleaning, which it sounds like I would be cleaning it as well.
God, no thank you.
It's not that bad. I've done it.
The guide's like, I'll clean it for you.
Ah,
Cool.
I
fantastic.
really like you.
Makes sense.
You're like, you are my favorite guide.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
So it's all you guys and your parents?
In ships, because I think the boat holds 4. So
Okay.
yeah, so there's 10 of us, and it'll be in
That's
ships.
good. That'll be good.
I don't know if Teddy's going. We'll see.
I mean, it's funny because Ollie likes seafood, but doesn't love fish. He prefers shellfish. Max will not eat or touch seafood. Neither will I. But both of them loved going fishing when out on a fishing charter on Cape Cod. They loved it, lost their minds. They had such a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even Max, who, like, there's a picture, I'll see if I can find it and send it to you, where he's, like, clearly, like, horrified, but also super proud that he's like, I got a fish. And he's just like,
Get her away
"How
from
far
me."
away can I-" He's like, big smile.
Yeah. Now, my kids have been many times, like, fishing from the shore,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just with a line. And my dad's bringing his tackle stuff to do that while
Nice.
some other
Yeah, that's
group is
perfect.
on.
Whoever's on the shore can be doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to bring my knitting and crochet.
Oh, yeah. I have to say, Thanksgiving is kind of the perfect holiday for, like, knitting, crochet, embroidery, whatever, because you can always be like, I am both being social,
Yes.
I am working on my project, and people who don't knit and crochet don't necessarily understand that you can both be social and work on your project, so it's a great way to, like, get out of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can sit in the corner and you can prop yourself with a project, and, like, people can come to you if you feel like being social. You can be like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to count.
78,
Yeah.
80.
Right. Oh, can you just
82,
admit?
84.
Right?
Yeah.
That was actual.
I know, you're like, that's for real.
That's what I was, as I'm trying to be social, but still count.
Right. So it's really the perfect thing, especially, like, yeah, I don't know. I love,
It keeps my hands busy.
Yeah.
yes.
If you're anxious being around family,
Yeah.
or friends-ish that you're hanging out with for Thanksgiving,
The group.
the group, sometimes, like,
Yeah.
if you want to keep your hands busy and you've got a glass of wine, sometimes you can have too much before you even get to dinner.
Yeah.
But if you're knitting and crocheting, you can't
Your hands are
drink
more
at the same
occupied.
time.
Yeah.
Or not as much, anyway.
When you have the long, like, okay, I'm going to show up at 1. We're not eating until 4, but then
Exactly.
I'm going to be here until 10. You're like, I got to pace myself.
You have to pace yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to pace yourself, and knitting is the perfect.
That
or
is-
crochet.
Yes. Yeah.
Or embroidery. Embroidery is great too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I stick my finger. I'm not paying attention.
56.
I look at people too much when I'm
See, I
looking.
yeah, no, I don't, because I just ignore them. Yeah, we're hosting Thanksgiving this year, which will
That'll be
be
fun.
Indeed.
fun
With your new kitchen.
with our new kitchen.
Nice.
I'm very excited.
That'll be fun.
Jonathan does a very good job with turkey. He is turkey master, and then
Nice.
I will, and he'll do some sides, and I will do potatoes because mine are excellent. I have to say.
Do you
I
have
like
a
it for
favorite
breakfast.
Potato?
I
Recipe, or just have like a way, like
it's
you
a
mashed, right?
yes, mashed, and it's a method.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a recipe. You kind of have to eyeball it, but Yukon Golds
Mm-hmm.
are
Yes.
the best.
I like those.
Peeled. Jonathan does the peeling.
Mm-hmm.
In the biggest pot I have, because we usually make about 10 pounds. My brother
Wow.
is and sister-in-law are vegetarian, but my brother is also, and for years, like, he doesn't like turkey or chicken, so even before he was full vegetarian,
Mm-hmm.
his Thanksgiving consisted of an enormous amount of mashed potatoes. He
Yes.
is like the
With-
skinniest
with
of
other-
all of us. It's
With
not
other
fair.
sides, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with maybe with other sides, but an enormous
Wow.
amount of mashed potatoes.
Irene loves mashed potatoes too. They're one of her
So
favorite
good.
foods.
That is my favorite.
We're bringing Thanksgiving to them, which is gonna be fun. We're gonna make most stuff at our house and then go to Jersey
Okay.
City.
Very
And
nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be really
That
good.
is fun. Yeah, I have to say my mashed potatoes are quite good. I'll do the mashed potatoes. I'll do the gravy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do one of 3 types of stuffing. Jonathan will do another type of
Mhm.
stuffing, and then the third type is stovetop because that is delicious.
It is. Usually right after Thanksgiving, I buy a couple of boxes of stovetop stuffing because
I love a stovetop
Thanksgiving
stuffing.
always reminds me how much I love stuffing.
Love stuffing.
Everybody in my family makes my mom's recipe, and I definitely, I'm the oldest kid, so I was like the first cooking helper.
Mhm.
So definitely, I've been making that stuffing since I was
Yeah.
like 13. Ghost cook, right?
Yes, exactly.
Who's
that's-
actually in the kitchen making that stuffing?
I do a
Like,
cornbread
That's
stuffing.
my family.
Potato lovers.
That's our family, like,
That's
group
hilarious.
chat. Because
I mean-
the first time I messaged everybody, I think it was like, hey, what do you guys want? I'm ordering food for Christmas dinner. What's your must-have dish? Potatoes. How many ways can you make potatoes?
That's
just
so
a dinner
funny.
of 6 styles of potatoes with strawberry salad.
That sounds fantastic. I would 100% be there.
See, I am the weirdo. I like potatoes. Potatoes are fine. I don't really ever crave potatoes.
Oh my
Oh
goodness,
my
that's my
gosh.
deserted island food.
Wow.
Yes, mine too.
Oh, mine is pizza.
Mashed potatoes.
Mine is pizza. No,
I mean,
no worries.
My mom says eggs, and I'm just like, what?
No, that I feel like that too many eggs.
That's too healthy in a way. It's like get that protein and
No, I want potatoes. Potatoes are good.
Yes.
yeah.
Love potatoes. But I make my mashed potatoes with a hand mixer because mine will be lump free, and I never use a masher because mashers are terrible.
I also do the hand mixer.
Yes.
That's good.
I wonder if it's a southern thing because that's where I got it from my mom. And then I make a cornbread stuffing, which was my great grandmother's Mississippi cornbread stuffing.
I like cornbread stuffing. Do you put squash in yours?
No,
Oh.
no. The only thing in that cornbread stuffing is boxes of Jiffy cornbread mix. Because if you know, you know. Celery, onions, stock, and seasonings. Straight up cornbread
Interesting.
stuffing.
That sounds like it's similar to we use the Pepperidge Farm bread cubes because they are really yummy. They have nice seasonings. We had some of our own seasoning, but same thing. It's like do the onions and carrots and celery.
Yeah.
But then Jimmy Dean sausage. You gotta
Yes,
cook
that's
that
right.
and crumble it. That's
always have to
which
make
I
my
never buy
vegetarian.
sausage other than that. That's like my one time a year that I buy
Jonathan
sausage.
will probably do a sausage stuffing, technically dressing, because my cornbread stuffing goes in the bird, and then everything else will be dressing.
Yeah. We don't stuff the bird anymore. And there's only going to be 5 of us, so I'm probably just doing a turkey breast.
Nice.
And one is vegan, so turkey breast and some kind of field roast or something.
Yeah.
No, I want sausage gravy on some biscuits.
I love
yeah.
sausage gravy.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to Alabama.
Yes,
true.
You should have options.
Well,
Swing by a
we
Waffle
can just,
House.
I was about to say, I don't even know. Although it's super fast to make. I love making it.
It is very easy to make. And a good biscuit.
Mm.
Love
So can I
Yes.
digress from our digression?
it. Digress from your digression.
On Jeopardy the other day, one of the questions, and we don't watch it in real time, like we tape them and then sometimes we'll watch 2 in one night or whatever, we skip a bunch. There was a question, and the answer was red eye gravy, right? Like that is what you call it. And the person who answered the question didn't say it, he just said red gravy. And they came back later and gave him credit for that.
No,
that
it's
is
red
wrong.
eye gravy.
That is wrong.
It's not red gravy.
Ken is way too forgiving sometimes. It's like, anyway.
He decides or judges decide?
I think the judge. I think they're.
But you know what? Honestly, on shows that he does, they more often accept things. I mean, sometimes clearly it's his ruling. Like if it's
yes.
in real time, he does. I mean, he will accept things from people when. I hate when or enough. We don't need to talk about Jeopardy. Clearly, he's not my favorite. I have beef with Ken. I do.
You're like
Not
no,
your kind of energy.
Not your kind of
Exactly.
energy.
Exactly. Not my kind of energy for sure.
There you
All right,
go.
so maybe we
let's
should
move
talk
on.
about
Let's
some
move
hitting.
But I do have a good question for this week.
Oh, good. What is the question?
What's your Thanksgiving plans?
Yeah, or like, do you have a favorite tradition?
Do you have a favorite tradition
And also-
or favorite food?
And for those not in the U.S., like we know our Canadian friends celebrated
Yes.
Thanksgiving more than a month ago,
Yes.
and so is there like an annual holiday where you live that
Yeah.
has some special traditions that you'd like to share?
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving or other similar tradition,
Um,
and we'll have to figure out later. What
We'll
that
have to
is.
figure out later.
Because we didn't talk about that before we started
I have
today.
to head. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I was wondering. I was thinking, what should we do? So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, let's talk about knitting. So what do we have first? We have
let's talk
finished
about some
objects.
projects.
I have no finished
Is that what you're
objects.
wearing?
Oh, I have what I'm wearing.
Yes.
I am wearing. It's not Wolf River. Oh gosh, I meant to look it up beforehand and I didn't.
Is that the one that I copied from you?
So yes, it
Avalanche.
is Avalanche.
By
Thank you.
Heidi Kirrmaier.
Avalanche by
Yes.
Heidi Kirrmaier, and I made one modification to the lace panel. Instead, I did a centered double decrease
Yeah, I like that.
on the way down instead of it was just a not centered double decrease, just a slightly different one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
So pretty.
in Eco Tweed. No, not Eco Tweed.
Eco Wool.
Plus. Eco Wool Plus. Cascade, which
I thought it
tends
was.
to get a little pilly, so I have to clean it a bunch of times.
I thought it was Corey worsted and Jana. That's so funny.
Oh, no,
looks
it could be.
quite similar. Yeah.
It's a little heavier than Corey worsted. I think
Yeah,
a really
true.
great swap. I was looking at the Cardo yesterday. This would be great in Cardo. Because it's bulky, chunky, bulky.
Yes.
Heavier. Heavier weight.
I made mine.
Oh,
That
yes.
would be
The
nice,
Malvinas
too.
would totally
I was about
work.
to say, because I was thinking that the lace would show up nicely.
The lace
Yeah.
would show up nicely in that single ply. The
I did
Cardo
mine in Lucky Tweed.
and Lucky Tweed and La Pampa would also be really nice.
Yeah, but
I still want to make.
We're looking over
a
there, 'cause that's
Carbeth
my
and Cardo. I think that
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah, just
something
like
that needs to
just
happen.
nice and plump. And this is I feel like this is a good fallish sweater because it is like the lace front. And it was really quick to do. I think I finished the body and then the sleeves sat for a long time. Shocker. Right? Where I'm like, oh well. I'm like, I'm almost done
I'll get
except
back
for
to this.
sleeves.
well, I mean,
you
I have
probably
a black
started
sweater
another
with
sweater.
sleeves.
I started like 5 other sweaters.
Yeah, see? There you go.
So that's my finished object from like a year ago.
Cool.
Really? It's just a year? No.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
I bet it's 2.
I think it's 2.
I know. Time
think-
flies.
So I
Time
think I
flies.
started it 2 years ago, but I think I finished the sleeves at the beginning of last fall.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I'll look on Ravelry, and
Yeah.
I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm. Amanda, how about you?
I have. Do we want to talk about all my finished objects? Okay.
Yeah.
First, I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I usually try to wear something that's a little more visually poppy. But today I was like, you know what? I'm going to put on my sweater that I'm actually wearing, like, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I wear this sweater all the time. This is my balloon cardigan by PetiteKnit. PetiteKnit. And it is made, instead of, that cardigan is designed to hold 3 strands together. I think 2 of silk mohair and 1 of sport, maybe?
That sounds right.
But I just used 1 strand of Tog, T-A-G-E by Woolfolk, which is a fluffy, bulky yarn.
So pretty.
And I think the Ferme Damate would have a similar vibe, work up similar.
Oh,
to
yes.
this
That would
as
be
well.
great. Mm-hmm.
So yay, I love this sweater. I wear it all the time. If you remember this, I made this last February. And if you recall, I made modifications. I knit the second size, I think. If I did it again, I would definitely do the first size because it's like a little bit big on me. I'd like it a little bit smaller. I think it would fit me better. And then the body, especially once I did the body, it was down to here and big. It was just a lot with big sleeves. So it was like a big body with big sleeves.
Sorry.
And so I unraveled, which is sort of a pain to do with that fluffy yarn.
Yeah.
But I unraveled like all the ribbing back and took out a whole button. So this was originally supposed to have 4 buttons, and I just took out.
I love the length you have it at. It's so nice.
I think your modification, it's so cute.
Yeah. So
And you wear it all the time.
I do wear this literally all the time. It's like my house
That's
robe.
great. It's a go-to sweater.
It's a nice one because I feel like you can style it in so many different ways. And it can be like just casual, I just need to stay warm, or it can be like super cute. I love the button band on that. I do love a vertical button band.
Yes.
I think it looks so
Yeah.
nice. It looks so nice.
Yeah. And this one was well done.
Yeah.
Um,
I looked up when I finished this. Apparently I have no pictures of the project in Ravelry. I'm shocked I actually have a project. I completed it January 8th, 2022. I started it in May 21.
okay.
There we go.
Well, that's not okay. So it was a 9-month sweater.
9-month sweater.
It's not too bad.
And I was going to say probably 8 of those months, 8.5 of those months were the sleeves.
Well, you did most of the body, and then it probably got warm, and you're like, I'm not.
I'm
wearing
like,
this.
Yep.
"Yay."
Like this one.
Yeah, just like this one, but I'm getting there on this. Okay,
Yay.
sorry, go ahead.
My second one, my second finished object is
Oh, that's
got a
right.
chunky cowl.
You know what's so funny? Is that the one that's on the cover of the booklet?
It's on the inside of the booklet.
Nice!
Because it looks so much like the original version of that. I didn't
does.
realize.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until the second.
Totally different
Yes.
yarn, too.
It is completely different
Yes.
company, different everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to count to 90 and I keep interrupting myself.
So we had a sample
Fourth
that
was
looked
nice.
similar to this.
Very similar.
And I tried to replicate it with Malabrigo. Jen knit the original. She knit it on 10s. She's a very loose knitter.
I'm a very loose knitter.
And you cast on more stitches than this.
I did.
And I followed that instruction. But I started on a 13, bearing in mind the tight looseness and my more normal.
Yes.
And it ended up like short. It would not go around your whole head, and it was tall and dense. I was like, this is not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
It looked like
Not working for you.
it looked like I had like one of those neck braces.
Cervical collar.
Yes, it was not good. So I recast on, used a 15, and changed the count so that
Yay,
it uses
perfect.
one skein.
Perfect.
And we now call this the Watchung Cowl.
Yay.
Love it.
So I wrote up the pattern, made pictures, and now it's our Knitting 101 pattern.
Yeah.
Mhm. Perfect.
Yay! I'm going to put it up on Ravelry and shopyarnia.com.
Yep.
I don't know how much tech editing it needs, but it needs someone to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good read
We can
through.
just give it a once over.
Yeah.
We'll give it a once over, take a look, and I think that's awesome. And I think it's like the perfect first project, right? You
Yeah.
learn how to knit.
Exactly.
You want to make something.
Or a fast project, because
Yes.
honestly,
Ooh.
this is the Malabrigo Rasta in Rosalinda, which
So
is a
pretty.
nice. You can see. I'll show you. It's a nice, softly variegated colorway.
Yeah.
Like it has yellows and blues and pinks in there, and they really. It looks like. There's like opal.
Yes.
almost.
Yes.
It definitely has that.
It
opal
is
vibe.
very opaly.
But there's a lot of the colors of the Malabrigo that you really want the color to like. You want to enjoy the color,
It highlights the yarn.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Something
it highlights
nice and
the yarn.
simple can highlight the yarn better than something really complicated.
And I think the garter looks nice too because it has
I
this
love
that little bit of texture,
Yes.
you know. So it's
Mhm.
not just flat stockinette.
Well, and you know what it is? It's also like if you look at things like Eileen Fisher or St. John or like those kind of like high-end quiet luxury
Yeah.
brands, things are simple and straightforward, right? And
Yeah.
it's really highlighting what you're making it at, or
Your
our equivalent of what you're making it
your
out
nice
of.
fiber.
Your nice
Yeah.
fibers, and
Yep.
it's just looking easy and elegant and just very.
It's quite cozy. Now that
Yeah.
I know.
And also, like,
This is-
I love garter in like a super bulky yarn. It's just so like, because you know what? It doesn't. Even when it compresses, you still see you see the ridges and then you see the valleys. Because sometimes
Mhm.
when you do garter in like a fine gauge yarn, you don't see the valleys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like in a super
True.
bulky,
It's like they're big enough that you still really
and
see them.
It's really squashy.
Mhm.
It's like the easy version of brioche, but even though it doesn't look anything like brioche, but it's
that same
squishy
effect
like
of
brioche.
yeah.
Marshmallowy.
Do you know what I'm also thinking about?
What?
Yeah.
Doing something like this in the natural color
Mm-hmm.
and doing some embroidery on it.
Oh,
Yes.
that would be
That's
pretty.
very popular right now. I don't know if you guys have seen the new embroidery on knits
Yes.
book, which we are currently out of, but there's
Which
more
actually
on the way.
sold out before we even told it
Yes.
when we had it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how people. I don't know. I guess because we carry Lena magazine,
Yeah, they
people
probably
check the
checked.
website.
Oh yeah, I did
Literally,
post on the
we
website.
were scheduled to promote it, and the last book sold like 2 days before we were scheduled
Yes.
to promote it. And we had a bunch, So so we were definitely getting those back in.
Yeah, so there's more of those on the way, and I think it would be really fun to add some embroidery.
Yeah,
I think this would be
embroidery.
super cute embroidery, and also like I feel like this is good for any age.
Yeah. Do a
totally.
because
Right.
that book has some like more natural florals, but it also has some poppy, like more graphic
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah,
I think
pop
a
art
graphic
almost.
one. Yes, I think a graphic one would look really
Yeah.
cute on this.
I think that would be
So
so
anyway, this is my
Yay.
finished object. Not
Nice.
only did I knit, I also wrote down the pattern.
Excellent.
Always good.
Yay! Goals. And then my third, we're going to call this a finished object because it's basically finished. I just need to, it's not blocked yet. And there are more components. So phase one is
my
finished.
goodness.
So cute.
But I finished my little baby sweater.
Oh, so pretty.
I didn't even realize what it was that you were making. I saw you working on it when I got here.
So,
That's so pretty.
You gotta
Yeah, bring it up.
That is
All right,
so
all right.
cute.
So, if you recall, at the beginning of our last podcast, I was going to Las Vegas for a work conference. I went to InsurTech Connect, and I needed a travel project because I wasn't taking a huge blanket. So I took a skein of yarn and some needles, and I started this little. It's Benni Hentesett by Mini Modes, which I've knit her kids' patterns before, and it's just
It is so bitty.
yeah, it's just like a.
baby.
It's a simple raglan sweater. It's got some yarn overs on the raglans. There's cables on the sleeves.
It's so cute.
And so yeah, I finished it. So I took this to Vegas and finished quite a bit. The body is just simple stockinette. So that was like, I was carrying that around as sort of my I don't have anything to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Project for a few days, and then yesterday I took it to New York and finished like half the first sleeve on the train to the city and put my needles on the second one. Then I finished the second one like mostly on the way home,
Great.
and only
Oh my
had
goodness.
one more cable twist and the ribbing when I got back home last night. I know, baby sleeves go really
Go
fast.
really fast. Or even smaller than a sock. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
Or
So-
smaller than an adult sock.
Yeah, so I'm using Tosh Sport, their wool cycle sport for this, which is a 100% recycled wool, superwash wool. So it can be machine washed. I'm going to give Catherine one of the laundry bags with it.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Smart.
That's going to keep it looking good longer.
Mm-hmm.
But it is superwash, lay flat to dry. And this color is called Star Scatter, and Catherine picked it. So.
That's a really pretty color.
I love it in that pattern too. It's it's like the sweater is simple enough that
Yeah.
you see the beauty of the yarn,
Yeah.
but the yarn doesn't obscure the details of the sweater.
Yeah, and I think
Really pretty.
the next thing that I'll cast on is the pants. It has little pants with it. The pants have cables. Like this cable that's on the sleeve is all around the pants.
Oh, cute.
Which
That's really
it's
cute.
pleasant because like the cable, you only cable once every 8 rows. So,
Mhm.
I like that.
right?
Yeah.
Most of your rows are just knits and pearls. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's say,
Is there a bonnet or something too?
and there's a bonnet, yes, but that's a 1-day project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
baby
I
bonnets
just was trying to envision the
Yes,
entire
yeah.
ensemble.
The ensemble.
ensemble.
Yes. So that is my my other finished object.
Yeah,
And
cute.
I think that's all the officially finished things I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have something that's finished that's going to be unfinished soon, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Ha. Okay. So I thought I had no finished objects for today, and then I was looking at our notes from last time, and I remembered last time I was working on this.
Oh,
That's
Yeah, I
nice.
totally. And it's like I think I finished it later that day or the next day, which is why it seems like I had no finished objects. So this is
I love this.
the Honey Cowl,
Me too.
kind of chunky edition is the way I think about it, or super bulky edition. The Honey Cowl is a free pattern by Antonia Shankland, who is our rep for Madeline Tosh and Woolfolk and a bunch of our favorite brands. She used to have a yarn store in Montclair, so we really have
Literally right over there.
yeah, through the parking lot, a strong connection with her. And we have, made that pattern many times, like we both for the store and for ourselves and for gifts, which actually that we can talk
We'll
about
get
that
to
later
that.
too. And we had a sample. I had done a cowl like this in a super bulky. It's, literally you could do this in a couple of evenings. Personally, I don't recommend, I wouldn't try to do it in one night because working with the really big needles and the really big yarn, if I do too much of it, it does make my hands hurt.
Yeah.
But if you spread it out over 2 nights, no need to have pain for your craft, right? It's
Right.
it's just not necessary.
Unless tomorrow is Christmas.
Exactly,
Right.
unless you have a
Or
real
first
immovable
out of month.
deadline.
Then you have to
Yeah.
put up with it.
So I
But
have.
this is definitely something you could start the first night of Hanukkah and be done before the 8th.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You could even make a couple of them in that amount of
Oh
time.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I used Dream in Color Savvy, which we showed before. I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before that. And this is Desert City Wattage, which at this moment I think we only have one skein left of, but we've got a bunch of really nice colors in this.
Yes.
This was our second year ordering this yarn, and we like doubled our colors because it sold so well last year.
Nice.
It's really nice. It's really nice, and for what it is, it's not. I mean, it's not inexpensive, but it's also not.
That's one skein?
This is one skein. This is like one. There was a
They have
few
a lot of
grams
yardage.
left. They
really
do,
do.
but like this is a substantial, really nice. And if I do say so myself, like
If I do.
a very, very, very giftable.
Like if you're comparing prices, you can see like the difference in yardage, right? Like,
yeah,
because we're both making a
the
cowl.
the savvy is like a double skein basically.
It is.
Yeah. So So anyway, that is my solo finish object. It is a store sample here. I have it displayed with the hat that Jen made and showed you last time from
So nice to work with.
the Malabrigo Rasta, and they look great together.
They look
They
so
absolutely
I
do.
do
You can
love
mix
that.
and match yarn brands, guys.
Absolutely.
No worries.
good. We'll get to
there.
that as well.
And then I guess the other thing, I'll go put this back. The other thing I can talk about is the sweater that I'm wearing, which is the Throwback from, it's an Andrea Mowry pattern. I made it a couple of years ago.
Did you make it when
You made it in my
I made it in
class.
Jen's class. Yeah, when Jen
in
did this as a class, I made it. And I did steek the front. It was, I don't know, my second or third steek project,
I
probably.
would say so.
Yeah, it's like by the time I got to this, I was like, yeah, steaking, whatever.
Steak and cut it.
Once you do it, it's,
Once you do it once, you're like,
you're really,
I'm going to do it on all the
you
things.
feel very powerful.
Yes,
you really do. I can cut my yarn. And I use Lucky Tweed, and I know you wore yours last time, but it's like I love when we see ours together because Jen's is low contrast and looks great, and mine is high contrast. And I also love the look. So it is one of the fun things about this pattern and a lot of color work actually that you can either choose to go low contrast or high contrast and have two equally beautiful but different things.
Yeah.
It is so amazing how the contrast level. I've got hair in my mouth all of a sudden. Where did that come from? Top of my head. How that just changes the look of a pattern. So, and this, I was like, it's not really cold today. So that is it for me for finished objects.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Well,
I already said that. Oh, what I'm wearing.
What you're
You're
wearing.
figuring
What you're
weight
wearing. It's
project.
always.
That doesn't count.
Technically, it's DK. But yeah.
I
We're gonna
see
go
the
on.
fibers are fingering weight and lace weight, so it counts as a finger weight project.
And I just realized, I was just saying, somewhere in here, I went from, I lost a stitch, and I'm looking to see if it's dropped. And I don't know how I did that.
Mm-hmm.
In the big cable. So it's not going to make a whole lot of difference.
Accidentally knit two together or something?
Entirely possible. I could have accidentally knit two together. More than likely I dropped it. But the question is, I'm just looking to see if I have a hole.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we go to whips? Who has the most while I count?
I have a whole lot of whips.
You have a
Let's
lot
check
of
on
whips?
lean
I have a
whips.
lot of whips. All right, so why don't we talk about this one first? Because it's what I've been working on.
This is what you're working on, and you
were
left us
so
hanging
cool.
earlier.
I know. So I've been talking for a number of weeks now about making a sweater for my husband Gene, and I did decide on a pattern.
Excellent.
First, I had the yarn when Northlight was no longer making yarn. I looked. I had made a couple things with their yarns, and I did know how lovely it was and everything.
So nice.
But I had never made a sweater, and I've been promising my husband a second sweater for a while, or a second recent sweater. There is a lost sweater, which some of you may remember hearing about, which still has not been found, but that's my problem. / fault. So anyway, I picked the...
The wearer of the sweater, that's whose fault. Abby can't find any of her school sweaters.
Oh no.
She's like, I gave them to someone to wash. And it's like, oh no. God.
I gave them someone to watch. The wash lady?
Someone to wash. The magical washing
wash
machine
fairies.
fairy.
Yes.
The wash fairies. So I showed him a couple of options, and one of them was the Pemberton Pullover from Blue Sky Fibers, and he did like that. And
I put a picture in last time.
yes. So I thought that would be a nice combo
like
with this yarn.
Mhm.
Is that Gansey type pattern? It's all knits and pearls.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love a Gansey.
And it's just like on the top half, which is really nice. It makes the sweater go a little faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
This sweater is written flat. I'm doing it in the round because I feel like it.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather knit than purl. And I'm using Northlight Atlantic in the Diddly D colorway, or Diddle D. I always want to say Diddly D. I don't know why. But it
plus,
is.
when you're doing a Gansey and you're looking at the front, you can see the patterns easier if you're knitting it around.
Absolutely. Well, though that by the time I get to there, I will be working flat again.
Oh, you're doing flat.
Yeah,
Okay, you're gonna separate.
You separate for the sleeves shortly after you start the patterning on the sweater. But just even working in the round, on the stockinette part will make it go a lot faster. So I had big plans for, possibly finishing one sweater and definitely getting this one going. And then I decided to do Kim's class, so that's another whip.
So there you go with one more.
Yep. So that's.
Weren't you whipless or
yes,
low on
yes,
whips
that exactly
recently?
the last one.
Yes.
Well, that was why I decided I was making the 2 sweaters. So so I will show you where one of the sweaters is. Let me lay this.
This is
guy
what
down.
I was gasping at the beginning of the podcast.
And actually, I'm going to pull the needles back on this so I'm not getting my stitches off. Oh, sorry. What I was doing earlier with this, though, I did cast this on at like 11:30 last night because I really, it's just like, with second sock syndrome, my advice for how to avoid that is do not get up off the couch.
Yeah.
Right.
After you finish your first one, just start your second one. Once it's started, it's so much easier to keep going.
True.
The starting, and it's that way with a lot of things in life, actually.
Yes.
It's like, it can be hard to get started. Once you get started, once something's in progress, I personally find it so much easier to say, all right, I'll chip away at this a little bit today. So for his size, I needed to cast on 180 stitches total since I'm working in the round. And I thought I cast on 180 stitches. I counted it about 7 times, but it was very late. And then when I was doing my ribbing, and I did put a halfway marker. I like to do that, actually.
Yeah.
Even though it is like front and back, but just even for counting, it's like put a marker halfway. When I got to the end of the ribbing, I'm like, that should have ended on 2 purls.
Yeah.
And so then I recounted the second side. I had 90 on the front and 80 on the back.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, well, it's only 10 stitches. I'll pull back a bit, and then I'll work in an extra 10 extra stitches.
There are some decreases or something.
Well, it was under.
It was under.
Yeah, and
The bottom would be tight.
so I did that first, and then like when I was on my second round, I'm like, no, this is stupid.
Right.
It's like,
what
just undo it. I'm literally on the 3rd row of the sweater. Just undo it, cast on the right number of stitches, because really that segment would have been much tighter and would have been pulling.
Right? Yeah, and if you're off by like 2 or 3 stitches,
That's one thing.
that's one thing.
A
But
stitch
10
isn't going to kill you.
A stitch isn't going to kill you.
Exactly.
Like last episode.
Exactly.
But
But 10 bites.
10 is like
Well,
a
10
cup. 10 is 2 inches.
It's just gonna, and also even if I had like pulled all the way back on that row and spread it throughout the entire back, that might have been okay. But again, 3rd row, it just was not worth it. So I ripped it out when I got here, and I'm casting on again, and I'm now on my first row of ribbing, and hopefully I counted right this time.
Yay!
So, but the thing I was working on before that today was putting this on pearl strings so I can show it.
Oh my goodness.
This
I
is
love
the-
this so much.
Thank you. I'm really happy with it, and I really wanted to wear it. Hopefully, I really will be wearing it next time.
I think you will.
I think that's achievable. We'll see. We'll see what else comes up between now and then.
Oh,
I also had like no knitting time on Sunday. Usually, I thought at least I could finish the color work. I thought I'd have hours of knitting time on this past Sunday, and I had about an hour.
Right.
So that's
very different.
It's
So pretty. What is it?
So it is. This is the Alpine Bloom, and I'm doing it.
Hunter.
Yes, by Caitlin Hunter. I'm doing it in cricket as my background. Look, Kelborn Willen's Cricket, which is the baby sister of Lucky Tweed. Actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Look, it kind of
Totally
matches.
matches.
Oh.
I was looking the other day. I have made a lot of black sweaters. I
You
really
have.
But I will always wear black. I love black,
this
so
is the
it's
thing,
like
it's a
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
It's
And
good
actually,
visual.
the more I've done it, I'm not as focused on doing it in the daylight. Remember that one that I was like,
Yes.
I felt like I couldn't start it except in the summer
But I also feel like
with the tweed.
the tweed
It does
kind of
help it a
lightens
bit.
it up a little.
It does help it a bit, and also right now with the color work, it's like when I go down to the body, we'll see. Do you want to go ahead and bring it up?
Yes.
It's
Thanks.
so pretty.
So this is the Lucky Kelborn Willen's Cricket and Trey Liz, one of the fingering weights from Trey Liz from our Le Suquet sale.
That is spectacular.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
So
You can
I'm
see
really happy
the
with it.
It's gorgeous.
lights up here, which is the color. All those blooms. Oh, you are inspiring me. I have a I have a skein of yarn,
Mhm.
a fingering weight hand dyed that I like the white. Mine is cooler colors, but similar vibe. And I might do one, but I don't know.
So I was away for the weekend, and this was the main project that I took with me. So that's why I thought I might actually at least get through the color work.
Yeah.
One thing I did before I left, though, was because I'm planning to do this with what I'm calling the Warble technique, which is from the sweater Warble that is in Neons and Neutrals by Amy Gilles. And
the book's by Amy Gilles. The Warble was by a different designer.
Yeah, I can't remember.
We could put the name in. So I swatched doubling the black, doubling the cricket, and I just wanted to see what that would look like, following the color work.
Yeah.
And then actually as it kind of, I haven't blocked this yet, but even so, I feel like it is a little stiff. I think I'm going to go up a needle size.
Yeah,
from
that's
what
a
I
good
did,
idea.
from what I did originally. Also, I was mistaken about what I was using for the body. I was planning to go up 2 sizes, and I wound up actually only going up 1 and doubling it, so that's also why it's stiff and not really
not draping the way that you want it to.
Exactly. So I will add on to my swatch yet again.
Nice.
Maybe down here. Yeah, why not?
You
Right?
want to swatch, right?
Yeah, play with your swatch. Make it earn its keep.
Test it out.
Yep. Test out everything before you're working on hundreds of stitches.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
So much nicer.
A good plan usually.
So that is number 2. Number 3 is the the shawl that I'm doing in the class that Kim is teaching here on Tuesday evenings. We are doing the Laia shawl by, let me see who it's by.
Like Princess Leia?
Laia. So not exactly the same spelling, but same pronunciation. And I'm not carrying the whole pattern. Here we go. Lisa Haynes.
Oh, yeah.
It's by Lisa Haynes. And it is a beautiful garter and lace shawl. And this was what I did in class and maybe last Tuesday night at home. And then I put it down to work on other things.
And what do you do? What yarn is that?
This is a Kelmore Mullen show. It's Kelmore Mullen Scout.
Oh,
I was I love that. I was like, that heather is so
Isn't it so pretty? Yeah.
At first I thought it was Harriet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Kim is doing hers in Harriet, which is 100% alpaca, so that it has a nice drape. But we had a really lovely group in the class, and we're meeting again tonight, so I'm excited about that. And this is, I think, the hazelnut heather, which is such a good neutral. It's like
so
if you had to say
pretty.
what that is, it's like I couldn't even tell you what color it is. Like it's kind of an interesting.
It looks like chocolate milk.
It does. It does.
It really does. I feel like
in the best possible way.
Scout has some of the best heathers on the market.
Absolutely, they really are.
It's
gorgeous,
just amazing. Like they have just beautiful.
Yeah, the whole Scout line is heathered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
except I guess the white.
The oatmeal or what? Not oatmeal, white. Yeah, natural.
Yeah.
There is an oatmeal heather.
Yes.
So that's number 3, and this is why I'm not making fast progress on anything.
Yeah. Welcome to my life.
Number 4. This is from a class that I am teaching, and it is a baby penguin.
Oh,
baby penguin.
Cute.
So cute.
Looks finished.
This is a sample that our instructor Susan did, and Susan was scheduled to teach this class and then couldn't at the last moment, so I jumped in and I'm teaching the Crochet 102 for teens and tweens, which I have a very interesting group of tweens. I think they're all tweens. I don't think, maybe one of them is a teen by now. But anyway, on Tuesdays. So we are working on our penguins. So
I love it.
Been doing that. And then I have one whip to be. When Amanda and I were at Rhinebeck, we saw Kevin and Ray from Needles at the Ready, and I remembered that Ray had bought a kit for a bunny from Hardycraft from us.
Yeah.
But I didn't think he'd ever done it because I watch them pretty regularly. And so I'm like, Ray, did you ever make that bunny? He's like, no, I didn't yet. So I said, I'll make you a deal. If you use this kit that I sent you, like, why don't you use that as a giveaway in their crochet make along that they're going to be doing some prizes for. I'll send you our store sample bunny. And he was like, cool, that sounds like fun, because he did want to gift it to some of his nieces. So so basically, because we no longer have one of these samples in the store, this is my next project. It's a stacking bear, which I think is
Yes,
so,
the bear
so
is
cute.
new.
So
I
cute.
love it.
The bunny is definitely more traditional. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Haley had one, you know, not crocheted, obviously, but this, I love bears. I used to have a teddy bear collection of about 100 bears.
Oh, wow.
Aww.
Yeah, I still have some of them, but I do love bears, and I think that is so adorable. So this
He's so cute.
this is now at my house, so it's the next crochet thing I'm going to start. Forget about the crochet things that I have that are waiting to be finished.
No. We don't think about that.
We don't
Pay
think
no
about
attention
this.
to the whoops behind the curtain.
Exactly. So, apologies. That is my long list of active whips.
Those are
That's a pretty
great.
good list of active whips. I like it.
All right.
I like
Who
it.
is up next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So I am currently working on and just a little troubleshooting on
Did you
my.
find your stitch?
I did not find my stitch. So I'm working on my Tsubaki Pullover. I am on a cable row. I am towards the bottom. I'm almost there.
Seriously.
You gotta be so close
I
to the ribbon,
think
right?
I may. Well, it depends on how much ribbing and how long it goes. So, like,
Yeah.
I might do like one more repeat of the cables, and then go straight to the ribbing and do like just deep ribbing because I want to be able to wear it with jeans, but not necessarily like the super high waisted jeans.
Right.
And
I do
actually,
need
one
to-
of your students wore hers to class,
Hey,
to our
like, so
intermediate,
good.
and it looked fabulous.
It looks so
Sophia.
So I love this sweater, but I just realized now when I was doing the cable turns for the center big cable, which the center big cable is over 32 stitches, so it's
That is
over
one
8,
big cable.
8 over 8, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, this is an 8 over 8, this is an 8 over 8. And I realized that I had 8 over 8, and then I had 8 over 7.
me.
And I'm going, where'd that guy go?
Yeah.
Where did the stitch go?
That's
Jen,
annoying.
where did it go?
Mhm.
And I was like, did I drop it? And it's hard to tell if you dropped it because I'm using La Bien-Aimée sock and mohair both in Amy's Flashy Lipstick. So I was like trying to identify which cable I lost it on.
Mhm.
And I was at 32. I'm at 32 here, and then I'm at 31 here. So I'm like, where did this go? But I have no holes. And I was just, and I
You must have
pulled
done
on
an
it.
accident
I
on
must
the
have
two
done
together.
either a knit two together or something. But
Like that.
I can't actually tell. So what I did, now that I know that, and I looked on the wrong side too, and I counted multiple times, and like, you can't really tell, right? But it is going to make me nuts. So within the cable twist, you can easily do increases and decreases, right?
Mhm.
Decreases, right? So
Yeah.
this was I guess it's a right twist.
Apparently, you can do.
Apparently, I can do decreases without even knowing. Who knows
It's
what
so
the
easy.
hell I did.
It is. Well, it's
Um,
fuzzy too. It's fuzzy. It's
fuzzy,
pretty deep
And
color.
then, like, I don't know. I put it down and picked it up. Like, maybe I dropped it. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? But I couldn't find an identifiable hole, which was good because that I would need to fix.
Yeah.
And everything else means just like whatever. So when I did the second cross, I held my stitches in the back. I knit the ones off the left needle, and then right when I was about to knit the ones off of my cable needle, I did a lifted increase.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's underneath the cross, and this is such a squishy cross that you're never going to see it. But now I'm back to the
Yeah.
right number of stitches.
Yay.
Yeah,
I'll
bring
bring
it
it up. And you guys can play Where's Waldo.
Yes, you can.
Where's Stitcho?
And the nice thing
Where's
is, just
Stitcho?
keep on. Just keep on. The nice thing is, because the crosses are so poofy, is that it's not like even a 6
Somewhere.
over 6 cable where you might be able to be like, oh, that's 6 over 5, like you can see it.
Yeah.
The cable kind of bends in on itself anyway.
It like
so
folds, sort of,
it
right?
folds.
Yeah.
So like those poofs, it's really hard to tell.
I really like this sweater.
It's
I
beautiful.
I
Yeah.
love this sweater. I think
want
it's
one in white.
absolutely
That would be
fantastic.
beautiful and white. Yeah.
It is extremely well written. This was the sweater class that I taught last time. It's
You
contiguous.
did
It
the
was like
sleeves
last winter,
flat,
right? It was.
The sleeves are flat.
Yes. So this has like a little party trick where you never really have to break your yarn. I mean, you have ends where you add in skeins, but that's it. So you start at
So
the
for
top.
those who hate,
yeah.
you know,
I
seaming
think I
and
would
things
rather
like
finish
that.
and weave in ends than knit
No, this
sleeves
is-
flat.
Actually, I felt like the flat sleeves shockingly went so quick. But you start at the neck. It's contiguous shoulder, so like a modified saddle / set-in. You work it in. Lots of short rows going on. You work down to the yoke. You work down, down, down. And then you knit the sleeves flat. And then you do this little zip-up seaming technique.
Do you decrease the sleeves?
You decrease the sleeves.
Okay. 'Cause
You don't have to.
I want a more fitted sleeve.
Well, yeah. You do a little zip-up seaming technique that has you picking up stitches along the edges of your sleeves as written, and then you knit them up
That's
together
so cool. Yeah.
with a really cool trick. You cast on a couple of stitches for your underarm, you work across to the other sleeve, you do the same thing. Knit it flat, zip it up, now they're done. Boom.
Which is really nice.
And
That's
it makes
such
a really pretty seam detail, which
It
I
is.
was unsure
Yeah,
about.
it's beautiful.
But it's a really pretty
Yeah.
seam detail. And it's neat. Like I also was skeptical about the sleeves, and I was like, you can do them in the round and break your yarn and then rejoin it and work around, right? You can do that, but it was kind of fun.
yeah.
And for whatever reason, I felt like they went quicker flat. Maybe because I was like, what's the next thing to do?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
What's the next
When
thing,
it's
right?
it's not like your typical thing. It's
Yeah.
it's a little
It's the
the
novelty. of it.
discovery as you're going along.
Yes.
We'll see.
So
Well, I mean, my list of dream lists is very long, so
Yeah.
I won't get one, but-
I have to say though, this sweater is extremely well fitting.
Mhm.
It
Nice.
fits beautifully over the shoulders. It's really well written. It's really well explained.
Mhm. Yeah, for some novel techniques like that. you
For
kinda
novel
need that.
techniques,
Yeah.
and she has support with video tutorials,
Nice.
Nice.
which is awesome. So I need to finish that because I need those size 5 needles. I need to
There
at
you
least
go.
get to the
There you
ribbon.
go. Mhm.
Because I am making a vest for my dad out of the Eco Tweed
Nice.
in the green. So
Which is Ella Ray.
Ella Ray Eco Tweed. I did all of my work to create it. I was like, I could look up a pattern, or
Could make
I
it
could
better.
take measurements from a vest that he has currently and then make up the pattern,
Right.
because it's a vest. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I did. I took the measurements, but in between intermediate classes the other day. Do you want to show this? No. Okay. There you go. And so this is going to be my cheat sheet pattern, and I'm just going to basically
Cool.
knit it to the measurements and see how that goes.
Ta-da.
But-
That's what I did for my vest. So.
I
Mhm.
need the needles. I need to finish one before I finish the other. I have another set of 5s, but I don't know where they are.
Story of my life.
I could lend you some.
No, just
Yeah. It's
This-
gonna help her finish
this'll
her
get me
sweater.
to finish
Alright.
it. It'll get me to the
I
ribbon.
was about to say I could lend you some.
Oh yeah, some shiny new
Good.
ones.
Yes.
And then my next whip is the current sweater class,
Yes.
which is the Svensdata.
Oh, nice. And you're done with the color work.
I'm done with the color work. I'm done with the short rows.
Pretty.
I'm
Oh my
looking
goodness.
at the depth of the yoke next.
Nice.
I mean,
Wanna
this
see
is
that
the
too?
thing I feel about color work is that it's so potato chippy.
Yeah.
Like,
You
I was
don't
like,
wanna-
just one more row. Just one more row.
That was the other reason I thought I would finish the Alpine Bloom.
Right?
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, okay, am I done yet? I'm done. Oh, wait, I'm done. And then
Yeah.
I was like, well, I might as
That's
well do
really
the short
pretty.
rows. So this is in La Bianame, Corey worsted, and Wensley worsted. And so I've done the short rows. We did the short rows after the yoke in this case, so it doesn't interrupt the yoke patterning. And then I'm going to work a little bit more until it's the correct yoke depth and divide for my sleeves, and then onto the body I go.
Mhm.
Yay! So that's where I'm at.
Lots of sweaters.
Yeah.
Lots of sweaters.
Seriously.
I'm definitely like I mean, I wear shawls, but I don't wear them as often as I wear sweaters.
Yeah.
I really like sweaters, and I like smaller accessories, like mitts, socks, hats. Right? That's
Yeah.
kind of where I land.
Yay. All right. Is it my turn?
It's your
Yes,
turn.
It is your turn.
All right. I'll give you an update on what is in my lap that I've been crocheting on during this episode so far because I'm working on Ardith still.
Yay!
Yeah. It just takes up the whole screen now.
So pretty.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my
All
gosh, it
pumpkins.
looks gorgeous.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yay.
So these guys are new since last time?
Yeah.
Or you finished those?
I dumped a pumpkin.
That's alright.
See it, pumpkin.
Yeah. There you go, pumpkin. So this is a close-up of the edge. And I've done all this. I've done quite a bit of this section up here. This is the last section of the border of the body of the blanket. And after this, I just have a border. And then I'll be done.
Yay. Yay. It's great.
Yeah, I'm on like row 82 of 92.
That's
You're
awesome.
getting there.
I am, but rows are now taking me multiple days. If you recall, back in August, I had a grand plan of doing a row a day. And then
Yeah.
I'd be done by the mid-October. I can't finish a row a day.
Well, I mean, that makes sense when you're doing the smaller rows. It's concentric.
Even the medium rows.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's crazy.
No.
So yeah. And I'm very happy that I'm now in a section that is, I don't have to like count things. I just, you know,
50,
go.
52, 54. That's all I'm doing today, counting things.
Yeah, I don't have to count anything for this. It's just like this row is back post half double.
Okay.
All
So
the
you
way
can just go
around. The next one is single crochet back loop only.
Oh, what the heck?
All the way around.
I did the same thing. I got to the end
What?
of my she's not seeing the sign on the door. Got to the end of my row and I did not have I had 3 stitches left and I was supposed to do 2 knits and 2 purls. It's because I just knit for like 10 stitches in a row a few back.
Oopsies.
Ribbing, lady, ribbing. That's what you want to be
Ribbing and counting. They're hard.
So
for me, apparently, today.
But I like when you get to, like, you know, you have the patterning rows where you have to pay attention, and then you're on the, like, automatic rows.
yes,
Yeah.
I think I have this row and one more, which I hope you can see. Like I'm almost done. The row that I have been working on was one that I started night before last and got halfway done. And then while we've been talking, I've got this much more to finish the other half.
Nice.
And then I hope I can finish that single crochet back loop only all the way around today. Because then after that is a 9-stitch puff stitch all the way
Oh
around.
boy! Oh my God! That's
Which is
gonna
gonna take-
take.
You need to
days.
allocate
That's
3
gonna
to
be
4 days.
multiple days
for that
yeah.
row.
Every side is going to be my goal
Yeah.
for a day.
Aside from
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a good...
Yeah, I know.
That's my last puff stitches on this blanket.
Even on
Yay,
even
they
on
look
the
so pretty.
the squares, the hooked on grannies that we did, those puff stitch rows and those my squares were like 12 by 12.
Yes.
Took so long.
Yeah, I've done it several times. That's
Yes,
the
they are. They're
section
pretty.
divider, so you can see there's a row puff stitch here.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a row
Yep.
puff stitch here.
Yeah.
So this is a very if you don't like puff stitches,
Don't
Ardith in
do this
particular
blanket.
has quite a few puff stitches.
Yeah.
When I did Teddy has the Atlanticus on Sunshine, does not have nearly as many puff stitches. I don't mind them, it's just they take a while.
They just
and
take a
eat
long
a lot
time.
of yarn, which is why I grabbed 2 skeins of yarn.
It's
The,
deceptive how much yarn they use. You think,
Yeah.
like, how bad could it be? No.
I think the other thing with the puff stitches with an all one color pattern like this, they really do help
Yes.
give that delineation,
Yeah.
which is so nice.
They look really pretty.
They do.
So
So they're worth the pain.
they are. Tell myself.
But you're
Okay.
so good about scheduling things, too. Like, your plan.
I'm hoping I can finish the little pants for the baby during the Thanksgiving break, and I'm also going to take this blanket because we're taking a check bag, at least one check bag. We've got 10 people going, or 8 people flying. So, yeah, I mean, maybe I can get through. I'll be on the border anyway. Be on the border and finish the pants, and that's Thanksgiving goals, right? Because I would really like to finish the whole layette before the end of November.
Just so it's done.
Yeah, and so I can do fun things in
Gift
December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm wearing a t-shirt under this today, so I can show you what would be a finished object, because this was what I started. This is what I started on, working on, and so I finished the sleeves, or the armholes, and then I picked up stitches around the neckline, and I have to do more math because I definitely did not pick up enough.
No.
I definitely did not pick up enough stitches for the neck because the arms fit great.
Mm-hmm.
The head does not.
Oh no!
What ratio did you pick up on your sleeves?
I mean, I picked up every stitch.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
But remember, these are this is a 6, and these are on a 2.5.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, even picking up, I've just got to do math. I'm going to pick up multiple stitches per stitch.
Or you can pick up and then increase too.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be too tight.
If you pick it up.
True. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's a little neck.
Yeah.
And
tiny.
if you remember from last time, right, like the deep V should go like down to here and then have an inch of ribbing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely has to be taken out. I would have taken it already, but I just wanted y'all to get the
yeah, that was fun.
the humor.
It's
I was
so
amused as well when I tried to put it on the first
You're
time.
like,
It's
this
that's
is
fun.
not. Sometimes you're like, this looks small, but it stretches. No,
Right,
No.
this looks small and it's,
it is small.
but it's really pretty.
This will be done next time, for sure.
Yes.
And I have been taking notes, but I have not written up that pattern yet.
But when you do, then I want you to grade it for my size so I can make it.
Yeah.
I know. I
know.
will.
Yep.
I will get to
Because
that.
I want one.
Okay, and the last thing that I have is a whip that has not gotten on the needles yet because I just wound the yarn on Sunday. So, but we were talking about mixing yarn. This is a very mixy yarn pattern. So I'm going to put the picture up here. The Selena slipover. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm. So apparently, I didn't know. I guess Selena Gomez wore it in Only Murders in the Building. That's what it's called.
She wore a similar one.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Not exactly. The pattern is inspired by the dress she wore in the show.
Yes, and I love that show.
Me too.
Super cute.
She has the best knitwear in that show.
I still have not seen it.
And coats.
When we drop something, I need to get Hulu.
Coats.
So the Selena slipover is not just knit collage yarns. She uses yarns by another maker. The ones, this is coming out of the middle. Eric wound all my yarns on Sunday.
That's great.
He's a good helper.
He is a great help. Oh my goodness, I was so grateful for Eric's help on Sunday. But I think, okay. So anyway, she uses Cowgirl Blues and 3 different yarns. Each yarn held, one strand of each. There's a DK silk mohair, a lace silk mohair, and a lace wool. And she knits that on a 17.
Okay.
Right? Which, and the lace wool is non-superwash, of course.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's basically a lot of floof and a little bit of structure.
Yeah.
Okay, on a 17. Now that gives you a lot of leeway. Also, I don't want my dress to be gauzy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will wear something under it, but I don't want it to be gauzy.
No.
So, I picked, and then there are stripes. I mean, I showed you the picture, so you can see like there's stripes of the knit collage is the stripes.
Yeah.
Intermittent. But the solid that I have 3 yarns to hold together. One is Woolfolk Far, right? Which is a chainette construction. It's a worsted weight, very compressible, a lot of air in this yarn.
Yeah.
And light. So I didn't want to use like a worsted spun, yarn, because those are, all the fibers are combed in the same direction and they're dense, right? Which is going to make your dress heavy.
Right.
Dense,
right.
For the same amount of yardage. So I wanted something light, and this Woolfolk Far is very light.
Yeah.
I have, what I was winding up here is La Bien-Aimée. Her merino, or mohair silk, and this is in the color Amy's Shawl.
It's a beautiful color.
Yeah. This is color 34, and the Woolfolk Far, this is Amy's Shawl. And then the last I have from our suitcase sale, what I got in France, is the blah, blah, blah. This is
Plume.
Yeah, it's Plume by Elinetlen.
Mm-hmm.
So those three together, I think, are going to make a really
That's
nice
really pretty.
fabric.
Yeah.
That's going to be beautiful. It's got
Right.
like a nice bit of structure, a lot of air.
You can see. I'll show
It'll
you.
be solid.
I spent
but
quite a
not-
bit of time going through the store and figuring out what I was going to
I'm
do.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the three yarns, and that's what they look like held together. Ta-da-da. I just took a strand of each and sort of wrapped it around my finger to get a sense of how the stitches would look.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is a great trick if you're unsure.
yeah. This blending, holding the skeins together, you can't really tell how they're going to
No.
look.
No.
But you take
need
one strand, and you can do that without winding the yarn too.
Right.
So you just
Oh, yeah,
have, like
definitely.
finger under a strand
Yeah.
and hold the three together.
And I wanted to make sure that the tones blended because I didn't
Yeah.
want one to I didn't want it to look marled.
Yeah.
And these all blend very nicely. So
Yeah.
that is the main color. And then I have, let's see. Oh, yeah. So then there's the original dress has two colors of the knit collage and spun cloud, which is the super bulky with the little stripes, and one of castaway, which is like a thick, thin,
Mhm.
marley thing, and one of the daisy chain.
Nice.
So, because so one spun cloud is this one. I think the white is going to look great.
Definitely.
My daisy chain is the natural aura.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like,
So
you know what?
perfect.
Let's just play with knit collage. And I got mini set.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is the geode mini set. So the geode mini set's going to go with that. I don't know if I'm going to put in the blue. What do you think about putting the blue in some of the stripes or not?
I don't know.
See?
If you
That's
only
without.
use like one row here and there, maybe
Yeah, I would
It
just
might
do it
not-
as like a
single row,
a single accent.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know.
because it's so tonal. It's so like the natural
Yeah.
and the peach and everything. But it actually might be a nice little pop.
It might be a
Yeah.
little highlight because I mean you do have the darker in here that has
Yeah.
the blue in it.
Right. I'm on the fence.
Yeah,
So comment
I-
below what you think about the blue.
Yeah.
I
When you
think
add
also it's one of those things like when you get there, try
Yeah.
it and see how it looks, and
I'm
you know.
thinking on the sleeves, maybe? On some sleeve
That's an
stripes?
interesting idea.
Oh, that
yeah.
could be.
Or a little bit up at the top. I don't want
Uh-huh.
to necessarily have a dark stripe around my booty.
No,
No.
I would not do the. I mean, that's the thing. You could also do. The stripes are on a relatively regular basis, right?
Yes.
So maybe you do it like a stripe here, a dark stripe here, and then like skip a couple, a dark stripe here, skip a couple.
Is it top down or bottom up?
It's bottom up. Yeah,
So.
it's bottom up. And then I needed, so that, like I said, there was 2 skeins of silk cloud, and there was, this is a quite warm palette, right? Like
Mhm.
these are warmer colors.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the gray that's left is a cool gray.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We don't have any more of the high vibes, which is the warmer gray that I used in my sweater.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to add a cool. I looked at it, and when it doesn't look right
Mhm.
to add
Yeah.
the cool
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. It
Yeah, because
it'll
even
pull too blue.
even the aqua is like it's like you see
Yes.
the green in it. You get the warm.
Yeah, yeah.
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 So I pulled a Rasta.
Oh.
that
Oh,
would look
perfect.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes. So that's my.
Good call. I love it.
This is my whole. Here, I'll move my pumpkins so you can see.
Talk about mixing yarn.
Yes, totally mixing. So I've got
Yeah.
knit collage. I have Bobby IntVeld.
I love it.
I have Elinetlen.
And you know what? Honestly, like that was what it needed too. It needed like one other
Yeah.
tone.
A little contrast, but
yeah.
not so much contrast.
There we
Yeah.
go. So
Nice.
this is a very blendy, and it took me like, but if you're planning to do with the Selena slipover, which I love, expect to spend like 30 minutes picking out your colors because it
At
really does
least.
take a lot of
Yeah.
time to.
Well, and give yourself that time. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
You want to mess around and play with it
And
and
that's-
see like
Like I
how's-
cannot imagine buying yarn for this online. That would have been
Oh, God, no.
impossible. So
yeah. You
How are you
definitely
gonna
go to your
pick?
local yarn store. If you're not near us, go to your local yarn store.
or
if
if you
you're-
want us to help you pick colors, we can
Or
always
if
do
you
it,
have
too.
something in stash.
If you don't have a local yarn store, yeah, Kathleen's right because we can do Zoom consults and then
Yeah.
I did a couple of those last week.
yeah.
Always
Those are
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's also the thing, like, this is not, you don't necessarily have to, for a project like this, purchase everything new. Like, if you have something that you're like, no, this is like, I want to build it around this one skein of yarn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's, and then you pull in new things, or you bring to the store, bring to us store, like, the 2 yarns that you want and fill in your holes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are ways to do that.
Shove. This was,
And then you're like, but then I need this, and then you're like, oh, but you can also build. If you have multiple skeins of yarn, or there's like the perfect color in a fingering, and you need to get it to a super bulky, you know, throw in a fluff.
Yes.
Throw in another fluff.
Yep.
Throw, instead of a
Throw in a
worsted, like
fluff.
if the right color was in fingering, you'd be like, all right, 2 strands of fingering plus the fluff and the fluff.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a
Like,
very
you build it up.
light palette.
Yeah.
I thought that I was going to go with a bolder palette when I got here,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking the Femme Damathe
Yes.
would have been my choice for the bold palette.
Yeah.
This tog would also be a good choice
That would.
to,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
To be
hold
your
with-
fluff.
Yeah. So, and actually you could do a tog with a wool folk. Run one of the sparkly.
With far.
No, one of the sparkly.
Oh,
things.
one of the sparkle hold along
Yeah.
Yes.
ones. A hold along strand of sparkle. That would be really, really pretty.
Like, make your own sparkle floof.
Yes, make your own sparkle floof. I mean, you were saying that, what was it, in Europe? That's kind of how they, you know, they're not necessarily working with a DK weight yarn. You're working with 2 or 3 strands of thinner yarn.
You're building your stuff. Yeah.
And you get a different depth of color, different depth of texture.
So these will be in a different bag next week for sure, because this one's busting. And actually, you know what? I might use my new New York Sheep and Wool Festival bag.
Oh, that's a good bag.
That's
That's
a
nice
perfect
and
one.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I'll have some projects done by the time I get back, or some progress on this. Although not that much, because I probably am not taking this to Alabama. That's a lot of
It's a
skeins.
lot.
Yeah. Well,
That's the thing with
you
it.
You know you got to get the blanket done. It's like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
have, you know, time where you're not, it's good to bring one big project.
It's
Exactly.
I was
one
convinced.
big project that only takes 2 skeins.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to carry a lot of extra yarn.
Exactly.
I was convinced that this was twisted. That's why I've been like laying it down. And
Oh.
now it looks fine. You know, sometimes you feel like the cast on can
Yes.
kill you, right? It's like,
Sometimes
but
the
I'm
cast
good.
on can kill you.
So hopefully it's smooth sailing from here. It looks fine, right? It's all flat.
It looks fine. It's all
I'm,
flat.
I'm telling you, it totally looked like it was flipping. Maybe it flipped in
Well,
2 different
I mean,
spots.
you have 2 chances
I know.
to untwist.
Well,
one when you first join, and the second when you come back around to that. first
and that's why I'm really focusing on it now, because this
Yeah.
is the last chance.
one. You have a little bit more.
I guess it's
vision.
good. I guess it's good. Yep. All right, we're continuing.
Because you're like, if I have to cast this on again,
It's gonna go in timeout.
somebody.
And poor
is
Jean's
gonna
not going to
pay.
get a sweater soon.
Exactly.
My goal is to get this done by Christmas.
You can do it. Well, that's actually a good segue to our We Have Opinions section.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Oh my god, you know what? I think this may be like our new longest episode.
It might be. Let's
Maybe.
see.
Could be.
We have some. We'll see.
We'll see. I have to help Catherine with French. She's going to call me around noon.
All right.
So
Well,
I'll
I
tell
want
her
to be
not
done
to
by
call.
then.
That's 30
Let's see
minutes
it.
from now.
We
we
can do that.
might be able to do this.
We
All
can
right.
do
Let's talk about what is our We Have Opinions question.
So, we had one that we held from earlier, and then a very similar one was posted in the last episode. So,
Nice.
it is, what's the best way to plan and organize gift knitting? And what are your favorite last minute gift ideas? So,
I am terrible at planning gift knitting and tend to think about it on like December 17th and go, maybe I should get my act together. So I'm going to step out of that first one and leave it to you two, who are much better at planning these things.
I know Amanda does a lot of gift
I
knitting.
plan.
I am not a big gift knitter. Just like I just said, it's like oh yeah, maybe this will be for Christmas. I mean that's my level of planning gift knitting. Once I've started the sweater,
Right.
it's 6 weeks away.
The number of times I have given items on the needles,
You do that all
Yeah.
the time.
I do that all
Every
the time, where I'm like, here's a hat, give
Yeah.
it back, I need to finish.
Yeah,
Literally on the needles, just pack the whole thing up.
Yep.
like here's a bow on my knitting bag, and then like you wrapped it. Oh, good, you love it. That's great. Fork it over. Let me finish it while we're still opening presents.
Yeah.
It works well.
I tend
Highly recommend.
I think when Haley was in elementary school and even middle school, like when I knew her teachers, that was much more when I would do gift knitting.
Yeah.
A lot of my gift knitting for my family, I don't do it for the holidays. And partly it's just because like that time of year is really busy for us. It's Haley's birthday. It's my birthday. It's definitely our birthday season. And also now that we have the store, it's like it's super busy here too. We're constantly restocking things, bringing in new inventory, figuring out how to, display it, all of that. So it's just, I'm not that big on gift knitting in that way. Though sometimes I'll just like decide on the spur of the moment, oh, I need to make, fingerless mitts for someone. And that is kind of like, that's more my answer to the second thing. I think fingerless mitts are one of the best last minute gifts. You can do usually one per evening. Maybe if you're not, and it's the pattern that Amanda introduced me to.
Yes.
Quiet.
How Quiet.
Helen Stewart's How Quiet mitts, which I've made, I don't know, not that many, like 5 or 6 pairs. But one of the things that I love about it is that I feel like you can use the back of the hand as a palette.
Yeah.
And you can replace, the stitch counts for the hand. And it's DK weight. It's done in DK weight, which is really nice. So you're not doing like fingering weight mitts, but they're still, if you make them to really fit, they're not too bulky. They don't feel bulky. They keep your hands warm. They keep your fingers free for phone or driving or whatever. I've made them to match different hats of mine. Yeah. So I did Seisha's half brioche beanie in one yarn, and then I made mitts to match, and I made those for myself. Yeah. Very selfish knitter.
I also love the How Quiet mitts. I love a fingerless mitt for a last minute gift. I also do mittens. And I tend to use the world's simplest mitten pattern from Tin Can Knits because it has numbers for every single gauge.
Yeah.
And I also I can do a quick thrummed mitt. And I have my own pattern called Thrum.
Yes.
Thrum. I don't know. I don't remember what it is.
Thrum.
Amanda linked it.
Yeah.
That goes pretty quickly. But my favorite last minute gift knit is a hat.
Yes,
Any
absolutely.
form of hat, like whether like for dudes who are like, I don't know if I want to do a color, or people who are boring and don't want to do a color. I just do like a classic beanie, or the hat, the heart hat that in the super bulky that I knit.
Oh yes,
last week.
Good.
Yep.
Go back.
That
to
literally
episode.
took a day. It was so easy.
Yeah.
Hats are fantastic. Cowls, Amanda's cowl.
Yep.
That's
Prosecco.
great. Prosecco.
Yep.
So pretty. And also like hats you can make to fit a wide range. Cowls fit everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of hats really are pretty flexible unless someone either has an extremely large head or an extremely small head. Like if you're making something for a child, it's definitely best to pick a child pattern or a pattern that comes in a child size.
Although kids' heads are huge.
Yeah.
FYI.
But it depends on how little the child is and everything too. Like a 5-year-old versus
Teddy's hat is not
a 14-year-old.
Yes.
That's Abby's.
Yeah, exactly. Like Abby's like a grown-up head.
Yes. She's very
When I was making a lot of hats, like I'm thinking back through like some projects like from 10 years ago and everything. One that I did that I loved that I think is really cute, and I don't know. I don't feel like hats are in style or out of style as much as some other things.
Yeah.
But Isolde T's icing swirl hat is so cute and looks great on kids and adults. I have a few versions of that in Ravelry. I remember making one for one of Haley's teachers, like in 3rd or 4th grade, and she just loved it. It was one of those, sometimes people really love things. And there's another hat called Faux Isle that I've made a bunch of times. Do you remember that?
I do.
The fun thing with that is you take a skein of crayon, and you take a solid that coordinates but doesn't overlap with it, and it looks like you are doing color work, but it's just 2-color color work. But the whole background of the hat is the color changing crayon, and
cool.
people are like, "Oh my god, you must have worked on that."
That's
forever.
so hard.
No, you can do it. If you spend say an hour or whatever, a couple hours a day, maybe you can do it in a few days. Certainly under a week.
Under a week. For sure.
If you maybe not as your first color work project, but if you're at all experienced with color work, it's super fast. It's worsted weight, so it goes quickly, and people love them.
So that's if you're not a planner.
That's if you're not a planner.
If you are,
Okay, now if you are a
tell us
planner,
how.
Yeah, go
All right,
to
everybody.
Teach us, Amanda.
Gotta go to the planner.
Let's do our homework now.
Yes.
Get out your pencil and piece of paper because we're going to make a list. The first thing we're going to make a list of is the people that you want to gift knit for. Think of the people that you intend to knit for this holiday. Now, if you're knitting for a teacher, if you have multiple kids, if you're gifting to one teacher in the school, you sort of have to think about all the teachers that teach your kids. What about the aides?
You're setting up yourself as a reputation for the gift knit.
Well, you don't have to repeat it year after year. Some years everybody gets something, and some years
Nobody gets.
anything.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's all or nothing.
Otherwise they will talk to each other.
That definitely, when I did it, that was what I did as well.
Yeah.
It's like you really can't, unless somebody really, unless you give it to one person and you have a separate relationship with them or something.
Yes.
Like that's, yeah.
Yes, but yeah. So mine's like a all or nothing. I do think I can separate, and I might do teacher gift knits this year, but I would separate and do things for the boys' teachers. In other words, the little kids have one teacher or two teachers all day long, whereas Abby has like 5 teachers, 6 teachers, and she's in middle school and changes classes, and it's like, it's just different. So middle school teachers, the elementary school teachers, y'all endure my boys all day long. So after that, I think you need to be real honest with yourself and think about how many hours, and not days, because you guys are talking days, how many nights or whatever. I think you really need to think about hours, because if you have
if
8
you have a lot
people,
of things to do.
Think about, okay, who are you going to want to take last minute, hostess gifts to? If someone's, hosting a party, or do you have somebody new in your life who you want to, gift something to? We have a new au pair that I'll want to make him something special. So make a list, put it on paper, because otherwise you'll knit the project that you're most interested in and not prioritize the giftee that you're most interested in prioritizing and finish first. Okay, number 1. Number 2, like I said, say how many hours you want to work on that
That's
project.
fair, yeah.
Right? Like, is this a 2-hour person? Is it a 4-hour person? Is it a 10-hour person? Or is it a 20-hour person? Right? All are doable at this point. It's still November.
Plenty of time.
Okay, now be realistic with yourself and say, how many hours a day can I dedicate to gift knits? Is it 1 hour? Do you commute? So do you have 2 45-minute blocks, right? Which is an hour and a half.
Do you have a long commute and be able to do even longer?
Right. Yeah. I was on the train back and forth to New York
train
yesterday.
commute. I was going to say.
That's
Obviously
why I got to
not
finish.
driving commute if you're the driver.
But that takes up, you have to be realistic. That takes up chunks of your day, and you can't knit while you're doing it, or crochet or craft.
Yeah.
And then multiply that by 0.75, because not every day are you going to hit that goal.
That's excellent. I love that.
That is
tip.
very smart.
Now let's look at a calendar. Get your calendar out on your phone or on the one hanging in your kitchen, and count how many days you have till your holiday.
And also, do you have more weekend time? Is weekend a good time for you? Can you have
if you
a
want
little
to,
extra?
I reserve my weekends for catch up. Right?
Smart.
And buffer time. So count how many days you have left, and then multiply times that hours, including the 0.75. So then you know how many total hours you have. Now, so if you've got 30 days left and you can do an hour a day, that's 30 hours. Okay, how many hours have you allotted to people? If you have allotted 60 hours, you can't do all those projects. You're going to have to scale back. Right. So then once you know how many hours you have, then start looking at projects, right, that fit in those hours. Like a Malabrigo, this Malabrigo cowl, thank you, wording, took me about 2 hours.
A fur reel cowl, you could use a similar pattern.
Yes.
If not the same pattern.
Same pattern.
Same kind of thing.
Yep. 2-hour pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do fingerless mitts, and you have the bulky hat and mitts pattern.
Yes, the bulky hat and
that goes really
right?
fast too.
I have made the hat in 2 hours and the mitts in 2 hours for a 4-hour project, right? How Quiet is probably a 6-hour project,
Yes.
right? Those fingerless mitts in a DK, a bulky weight, so like a Harriet. I have a goal of a Harriet Great cowl. Is probably a 10-hour project. I would say like a worsted weight. If you Tin Can Knits has the anthology.
Yes, Anthology is a great collection of patterns from them.
Which has different color work that you can put on worsted weight. They have a nice cowl also. About a 10-hour project. Realistically, it takes me about 10 hours to do it. Maybe more like 8 or 9, but.
Well, the other thing.
Bank on 10.
Yeah, I don't normally think about projects in terms of how long it takes me, and so I don't know, if a lot of people do, but it's one of those things, like if you're picking a project with cables, it's going to take you longer.
Cables take
it's
longer.
Just more manipulation of stitches. So if you don't have a great idea about how long things take, color work normally takes a bit longer than and also it depends on
2-color color work. I hold on 1 strand, so it's not actually that much more time for me to do a color work garter.
It really does depend though too on the actual pattern, because the Alpine Bloom, I was doing it took me the entire trip down to do 1 row.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a 12 stitch repeat at that point, and there were like 9 color changes within the 12 stitches. It was switching almost constantly. So, I don't know, like that definitely color work, I don't know, it can definitely add on some time. So you want to stick with your simpler patterns.
Yes.
Probably, obviously.
Yeah. Or smaller. Yeah. Or,
actually, that Snow Globe hat, I think it was Snow Globe, right?
Yes, yes.
That is cabled, but actually went really fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
cool.
it's very like repetitive. And it's really easy to see what you're doing. You never really have to go back and say, oh, okay, what row am I on? It was, so.
Yeah. Helen Stewart has Knit Vent every year, and How Quiet was part of Knit Vent one year. Knit Vent is going on now, so every week there's a new pattern released, and that's a great source of heavier weights projects. She has some DK socks in there, right? If you're an experienced sock knitter, DK socks
Go nice
can
and
go
quick.
really fast. I think she might also have like a worsted sock
Ooh, that'd be nice.
in there, which would be great cozy slippers. But she has some that I would say are more in a lot of hers, even the shawls, like it would be a worsted shawl, which can go fast, but that might be more of like a 20-hour project.
Yeah.
Right? Still doable, because we're only in November. But you have to think about, okay, if I do this 20-hour project, do I have a long list of other people I need to gift knit for? Or is it, a shorter list and that's achievable?
Yeah.
And I think if I were to do a 20-hour project, what I might do is do like a 2 or 4 hour one, and then do a couple hours on the 20-hour, another 2 or 4 hour.
Totally.
I wouldn't want to leave like everybody else for the end after doing the 20-hour.
Yeah.
Because I probably wouldn't accomplish it if that were the way I were doing it.
Again, you can always give it to them on the needles.
Yes,
depending
you
on
can.
It depends.
on your
Depends.
relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends,
You can't give like teacher gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's
you
true.
can give teacher gifts.
I would. Have not, but
And you could finish it during your conversation with them.
I know. I'll be like, "Hi, happy dismissal. Here you go." But no, give me
Hold
back.
on a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of fun patterns out there. Like you can work with finer weights, but like similar to this, holding them together on bigger needles, and it feels super luxurious. But you're using bigger needles, and it goes pretty fast.
Yeah.
The knit collage, the home goods from Knit Collage would be a great gift, and they go quite fast as well. Like those, the
So the pillows.
yeah. So the pillow, you crocheted the granny squares out of Knit Collage, and that would be like
Yes.
great.
That was actually pretty quick.
Right,
That
it was
tote
really
bag.
fast. Yeah.
Pop it on a pillow.
There's some. I think the cowl pattern that I'm thinking of doing is it's called like Little Dots. It's by All About Amy, which is a blogger, a crafting blogger. And she has several nice patterns and heavier weight yarns that are, quite accessible. She also has a whole series of Chinese zodiac amigurumi for free. On her website.
Is she the one who does the daisy granny square pattern?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's what. Yeah, I don't know. I found her after I started my sunflower bag.
Yeah.
It was very similar.
So that's a lot of options. And I mean, I am a big fan of...
You can see I'm very regimented with mine.
Yes.
Amanda, that's why Amanda is successful at this. And I am fly by the seat of my pants. But the other thing is that I have enough equally crafty folks in my life that folks who are knit-worthy, crochet-worthy, right? But also understand if I give them something on the needles. But also understand if I'm just like, hey, you know what I got you? An interchangeable needle set.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Which, should we talk about what we have new in store? Because
that's a really nice segue.
The other thing I wanted to mention was if you're gifting for teachers,
yes,
don't look at Christmas as your date. Look at the day school gets out.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Your deadline is different.
That was one of the things I was thinking of too.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about that, if you're planning for the day that school gets out, then that gives you a couple additional days.
You have more
if
days
you have to hit Christmas
for family and real close.
And I'll tell you, that also gives me, my dad's birthday is in January, and my sister-in-law's birthday is in February. My mother's is in November. We're also in birthday season, and mine is in December. So if I'm aiming for my mom's birthday in November and I miss it, I still have Christmas for her. If I'm aiming for my dad for Christmas, I still have birthday for him.
Yes.
So okay, so let's talk about new in store.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you need quick gift knits, other ideas.
Yes.
Or you could either make them.
That's true.
Or just gift them.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So these are the Hardy Craft kits. Well, they're holiday.
Some are holiday and some are not. You can check online and see the ones that are not holiday specific.
Right. But these are holiday. These two, right? Are felt.
These two are felt.
So you sew them.
We have a little Christmas tree here.
Yeah. And snowmen.
Mr.
and Mrs. Snowman. And Eric got these. He's very interested in sewing them. But they've got little hangers on them, so you could tie them to a gift or give them to themselves or put it on something to hang in the window.
So
or
cute.
hang on your tree.
Or hang on your tree if you have a tree. Or, I mean, honestly, I would hang. You could use the. Put them on like a little keychain and have them as like a backpack charm.
Absolutely. So this guy is a Santa that I made last year with help from Haley, if I remember correctly. Our little crochet maiden.
So cute.
So he's so cute. So there's the kit for him, for Santa.
And these are crochet kits from Hardy Craft.
Yeah, also Hardy Craft.
And you need a hook, right?
2.5 millimeter hook.
2.5 millimeter.
That has everything else but the hook.
Everything but the hook is in the kit.
It's got the stuffing, the yarn.
Yeah.
They all have the safety eyes,
mm-hmm.
which can be hard to dig up.
So we have also an elf.
He's so cute.
We have a snowman in this set as well.
I love the snowman.
So cute.
His little hat.
And the gingerbread man. I think I might have to get a gingerbread man. Like I need another project right now.
So cute.
But so cute. So we already gave you our question. So this is going to be the prize for our question from this episode, which is, what is your favorite Thanksgiving or other similar holiday tradition?
Yeah.
And let us know what you thought of that. And the winner will pick their choice of any of our Hardy Craft mini kits.
Yep.
So felt kits, crochet kits.
If you win, we can give you the parameters to choose from.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then one of your questions of what am I going to make for summer for the holidays is done.
It's
done. You have options.
Yeah.
Or you can just
keep it for yourself.
You can keep it for yourself. You can gift it as is. Like this would be a really cute. It's a crafty teen.
It's a perfect little gift for someone who's already crocheting. For the crochet ones, because they are such a small gauge, they are not ideal as a first project.
But your little felt.
Yeah.
That's
little felt guys are so fun for anybody.
Okay, interjecting a little bit here because we forgot to announce our podcast winner from last time. So the winner is Jody Diaz 3864. And she was answering the question, yay! She was answering the question, what was the most creative or cool Halloween costume you saw this year or in the past? And she wrote, he is 13 now, but when my son was 2, he was an electric guitar. It was so cute, and I've never seen another one like it. So that's our podcast winner. From last episode. I bet that was cute. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine a little electric guitar at 2 years old. That would be super adorable. But what did she win? She won her choice of, yay Jody, either a skein of the Malabrigo Rasta, which is new for us here at Yarnia. There's Jen's hat here that she made in it last episode. We have a lot of colors, and or if you're like, Lucky's not my thing, we also have the Zabberball Crazy, which are back in the store. And so you get to choose one or the other. So email us at hello@shopyarnia.com and let us know what your choice is. As always, shipping is on us. If you want to add anything else, then you get free shipping. Yay! So, enjoy, and congratulations, Jody.
We also have additional stuff that's new in store, talking about the interchangeable needle sets.
The things that you might want to put on your holiday.
Maybe you want to gift them, sure, but maybe someone is looking for a gift for you, or you are looking for a gift for you. Mm-hmm. We have, if you saw the newsletter this past week, our brand new in-store Rainbows and Unicorns.
Rainbows and Unicorns.
Rainbows and Unicorns, because we all love a rainbow. We all love a unicorn.
Yep.
We have the Laia
Colors.
Laia Colors interchangeable needle sets in 3.5
and 5-inch.
And 5-inch tips. And oh my god, you guys, they're rainbows.
Trying to get this off.
It's a rainbow wood. They're so
They're beautiful.
Pretty. Talk about ease of finding what size you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm working with paint.
And it's so funny because I was not even thinking about getting one of these, and then
Until
I saw them.
They're
so pretty.
They're so pretty.
And they're in a suede bag. They have the
clear cords, which are really nice.
The clear cords,
yeah.
yep. And and clear stoppers.
So the 3.5-inch, the short tips, have US size 3 through 10.5.
And 3 is really nice.
The 3 is really nice. Not every interchangeable set goes down that low.
That one starts at 4.
Yeah.
The 5-inch tips start at 4
and go through 17. Here, let me get them.
They go through 17, which is the needle you need for a lot of the
for the knit collage.
For your
knit collage, yes. For the knit collage.
There you go.
Yeah. So when I used my driftwood set, the gray set, and knit my knit collage because it has the 17s, which are impossible to find.
And so those, I don't remember the price off the top of my head, but Amanda will link them.
These are $150.
$120, and the larger, the 5-inch are $150.
They're so pretty. The color ones are so pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all of my Leica needles, but these are rainbows.
They are.
They're just fun.
And it answers your question, are my needle tips the same size?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Because you're like, I'm working with a 4 and a 5.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
no, you won't ever do that again with these.
You're like, oopsies.
I know we posted about these on Instagram yesterday too, and one person said, I can't find these on your website. So there is now a link in our bio that will take you to all of the Leica wood interchangeable sets.
Right.
Yes,
and then if this is the one you're looking for, you want to look for the word color with a U.
With a U.
Color.
European.
So.
Yeah, they're the same birchwood
material, basically.
So smooth.
It says birchwood Leica needles.
Uh-huh.
The denim, the blush, the driftwood.
I was thinking we might actually want to change that a little bit because people are so used to hearing driftwood that birchwood sounds like something different, but we'll figure it out.
Driftwood is the color of the grape.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
we also have.
But we also have.
Yes.
And this one I grabbed.
Amanda got the first set, actually.
She's like, as soon as they came in,
I just wanted them. Yes, and so now we have some for the store too. And I knit my whole vest on these needles. We got the Addy unicorns.
Unicorn.
So these use the Addy whereas the look is screw-on, similar to Chagu. Also, they're interchangeable screw-on. You use the little key. You saw when I pull it out, there's a little key, which is really like a T-pin. Does the same thing.
A T-pin or a safety pin also fits.
Yeah, paperclip, honestly.
But yeah, so you have to use the key and tighten it up a little bit. These use the Addy click method, so they don't screw in, they click in. Yep, but they have like a little tool to help you click them in, because you have to really sort of push on it. Do I have the little thing? I hope I do, because otherwise
Is it the little, like...
It's a little heart rubber thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we have extra ones of those here. I ordered them at one point.
Yeah,
well, that's smart.
So
it makes you...
Good, because
it gives you like a good grip on it. But these unicorns are so...
Now you see why I wanted them.
Pretty.
They're so fun. You want to bring them up?
The iridescent on the inside.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It's got like the ombre, rainbow ombre on the inside.
Unicorn horn design.
Yep. So these have a spiral design, which is supposed to eliminate hand fatigue. My hands don't get very fatigued to begin with, so I just like the style. But yeah, and the cords are really nice. They are very flexible, and the set comes with the pink, and the set comes with an extra connector bar. So you have three cables, 24, 32, and 40, but you can connect them to make a longer cable.
So you can like super easily try something on by just using the connector cord.
Yes.
And we do sell Addy cords, separately as well, but not in the pink. I wonder if they're going to offer the pink.
We have Addy cords. We don't have Addy cords. We have Chagu cords.
Oh, I apologize. You
Chagu
were correct.
cords, yeah. They are not in Chagu. Like
because you know why?
Addy, you can't brand switch.
Yeah. No, I apologize. So actually, the little rubber thing we have is Chagu. It's not Addy.
But
it's probably the same. Yeah, that would work. I'm sure.
It's like a little
it's
rubber
the same
piece.
thing. Like if you have the gripper things in your kitchen to get the jar lids off.
Around to it. Basically, there was one that we had that said on it, this is around to it or something. So that's what we always call them, which is so cute. I'll get around to it.
That's cute.
Cute. Yeah.
I love those. They're
that was
so
from North
pretty.
Carolina. That was a very, very southern thing.
The Addy packaging is so pretty.
And it's got
those
a little
needles.
unicorn. So,
that's really cute.
These it goes from a size 4 to a size 11. So for like most of my sweater knitting, these are a great size.
Yeah.
It doesn't go all the way down to the 3, like the 3.5 inch doesn't have a 17. But if you're a metal needle lover, this is a great set.
Plus they're shiny.
And they're just pretty. That's really
pretty.
why I wanted them. The cost of these is $240 for the set.
Yes. I feel like once you go interchangeable, you don't go back. Unless you're always knitting, like socks are the only thing I won't knit on interchangeables. Although I do have the Chagu mini sets, the teeny tiny ones that go to size 0 because that's what I knit my socks on.
Yeah.
But I love an interchangeable set, and if you don't already have one, and you're looking for somebody is going to be looking for a gift for you, or you're going to be looking for a gift for you, or you have a crafty person who doesn't have one, they're great. They're great. You're never without a needle.
It's a good thing to put on the holiday list for somebody who, wants to get you a gift but doesn't know what to get.
Yeah.
Now you'll get something that you want and need and honestly might not purchase for yourself.
Right. And I mean, I'm good about buying gifts for myself. But not everybody is. And I just had this conversation with Max the other day because it's hard to buy gifts for teenagers. It's harder to buy gifts for teenage boys. And it's harder still to buy gifts for teenage boys that aren't like $1 bajillion. Because no, I'm not buying you an e-bike.
Oh.
Or you don't need a $200 mouse for your computer. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I was like, people want to buy you something, so find something that
you want.
Right. Little to, big-ish. You have grandparents. They want to buy you something that you want and that you'll use.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, we're big fans of wish lists. And
totally. Us too.
Yeah. And then that's also the thing that
Wish list
you
with
can put
links.
the giftee or the giftor on your gift knitting for next year. So,
Exactly.
I made it
There
for
you
you.
go.
Look
Exactly.
Look what I did with the needles you made me.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
So we also have, if you're looking for gift stuff,
Yeah.
whether it's a gift for you or a gift for somebody else or another crafty maker, we have these adorable
Yes.
Madeline Tosh holiday halfsies.
You guys have probably seen me do a couple of Mad Tosh 12 Days of Tosh over the past couple of years. I've done it 2 years. One was the big shawl. One was that last year was a cowl hat set.
Yep.
They're super fun. Each
So cute.
kit, each of those kits came with all the supplies you need and a pattern. And this year, instead of being a mystery, they have what they're calling holiday halfsies. So again, if you're if you are the person on your gift knitting list and you want to have something festive to knit during the holidays, and you know, if you're like Kathleen over here, you're like, I knit for myself.
Yes. Selfish knitters.
Mostly.
Selfish knitters unite.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Then yeah, this is a great choice to just knit something festive during the holiday season.
Yeah.
And Jean, if you're watching this and we still have any left, you can get me this one.
Jean, these. So these are adorable.
This is Yeti, I think.
This is
That's
Yeti.
the Yeti
This is
set.
Yeti.
Yeah.
So each kit comes with 4 200-yard halfsies skeins and
200
half skeins.
yards.
200 yards, right?
Yeah.
200 yards.
So 800 yards altogether.
800 altogether, as well as a pattern for a printed pattern for a knit shawl.
Called
And-
forever.
Right.
Ever. As well as, I believe, a QR code for a crochet shawl as well. So this is great for both knitters and crocheters.
And what I read too was that the electronic version of the knit will be available through that link as well.
Oh,
I did
fantastic.
check it out. So if you'd like to have something, you know, you want to see the knit companion or
wanna
something,
save it.
you're not just working from the card.
And the skeins of
And
yarn are packaged in a color
The best
coordinating.
Delicacy bags.
Yes.
The
I love
absolute
these.
best. They're what are the snap box bags? So it's a
Yeah.
box bag. It's sheer, so you can see in it.
I have so gotten into that, the project base, that you can
Yeah.
see what your project
So
is.
you don't have to go rifling through and
So
take.
if you have 100,
And-
it's easier to find the one that you
They're
need.
snaps, so nothing
Nowhere
to
to
snag
snag
the
your
yarn,
yarn.
but it still closes.
Yeah.
And
You
a
can-
nice handle that you can either put
A
over
nice
your wrist
handle.
or whatever.
You can
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I was doing this yesterday with my little project bag in the city, but
Yep.
yeah, you can put all your yarn in, right?
Mhm.
Have it skeined up and work on it, and
Carry
have
it
it
around
carry it around and knit because
right from it.
yeah, because your yarn can go through between the snaps.
And they
Yep.
have it's nice structure. They'll stand up, so you can knit right from. You can keep it snapped and just feed your yarn right through. I feel
Yeah.
like, and they've got like a little bit of co-branding on the side with an MT. So you've got
Yeah.
the red kit is, I forgot the name. The blue kit I
Spiked
remember.
punch,
Spiked punch. The blue kit is Yeti
white elephant.
and white elephant.
Oh,
Is the green.
cute.
And I feel like they did such a great job with the colorways.
The colorways are great.
They really did.
They're
They're all
beautiful.
fun. They really are.
They
It's funny.
really are.
When we were ordering these, we thought we could get them in any combination, and we're like, we're outside New York. Let's get lots of neutrals. We know
Yes.
it's going to sell the best. We actually had to order the same number of everything. So,
But I'm really glad
but
we did.
we like them all. We
Yes,
do like them
They're
all. So.
all
Love this.
beautiful. So
and-
these are super fun.
So the other thing I wanted to say about these is that the last couple of years they spent a lot of money on packaging, and the price of the things was getting higher and higher. And we, along with I'm sure many other yarn stores, gave feedback through our reps to Madeline Tosh. And one thing they did this year was eliminate all of that packaging, and so now these are under $100.
Yeah.
Which
They're
is
$95 a set. It's a beautiful gift,
and it's so it's 800 yards of beautiful Madeline Tosh yarn, a pattern, 2 patterns, and the bag. And I'm like, the bag alone is this is the right kind of packaging, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
packaging that
totally
you can-
reusable. Totally.
And I love a good packaging.
Yeah, and
But
it was
love
funny. And
this.
at first, I was a little sad that there was no surprise involved. But honestly, I think now people
You were
can.
sad that there was no surprise involved?
I know, yeah, our mystery girl.
I have no problem with no surprise
Kathleen
involved.
was like, I'm surprised,
But-
but you're the one that's always like,
I know,
"Oh."
but advents are a different category for me.
Yeah.
Like I do like to be surprised by
Gifts.
advents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like gifts in general. That's why I do like a gift
I love
gift
it.
list with
Love
links.
it, yeah.
Yeah, but with links, so
gift.
you know you're gonna like it.
Oh, I mean, yes. But I like a
Once
mix.
again,
I like a
Yes.
mix of being surprised and not surprised.
I
Um,
love surprises all the time.
So
I love
anyway,
these.
yeah.
I love these so much.
So
So these are available in store and online.
yes,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. It's
And
also
we-
nice because they're easy to ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not that heavy. We have a limited quantity. If we sell out of these really fast, we may see if they have a few more available. They were pretty low though. These
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah,
really
I was
well.
going to say these
Yeah.
might not.
I love the
So-
Tosh Merino light too. It's one of my favorite shawl
Yeah,
yarns.
yeah,
It's
It's
beautiful.
a really nice yarn.
If you're into these, I would say don't hesitate
Yeah.
just because
Yeah, well,
I feel like
yeah.
it's such a good package, it might sell out.
hmm We've definitely had people already come in and just see them in the store and buy them.
Yeah.
Like people who didn't know about them. So yeah,
They're just so fun.
moving.
They're
Yep.
so fun. We have a ton of stuff now in store. Different.
What?
We didn't do the episode number.
Oh gosh. 113,
Close.
114.
Yes.
Yay! I'm like always under.
You're one lower.
always-
No, not always. Sometimes you're like,
Sometimes I'm like
One-
10.
Way ahead. Way ahead.
145. Is it 145?
yeah, and we're super close to 4,000 viewers.
We are super
We
close
are,
to
we
4,000
are.
viewers.
So, and actually, we didn't say
4,000
this.
subscribers. Sorry,
Subscribers,
that's different
yes.
than viewers.
Mhm.
I mean, we'll take the views too.
Certainly, yay, thank you.
But yeah. So if you've been watching this long, we assume you like us.
We hope.
I mean, otherwise you're just
Either
really
that or
punishing
your
yourself.
TV remote is on the other side of the room.
And you're like, God,
Gotta
turn
finish
them
the
off."
sweater. But yeah, if you like us, tell your friends about us.
Yes.
Like us. We
like
definitely.
and subscribe.
Yep. It helps. All that helps with the algorithm.
Yeah.
And we love hearing from you guys. We read
For
all of your
sure.
comments, and more and more. Like you've got a few people who are podcast watchers in your sweater class now.
Yes, which I love.
From all over the world, which
Yeah,
is
I
so
love it.
cool.
Podcast watchers
So
at
nice.
night
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
on Wednesdays.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
we
so fun.
we do
And,
in-store knit night. I run that, and Amanda runs our online knit night, Zoom knit night.
Yep.
And we were
Sign up
talking
on the
about some
calendar.
more fun things to do next year.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes, we've got
yes.
some ideas.
We've got ideas. We always have ideas.
More ways to connect. So
Like, subscribe, comment below, and also if you subscribe here but don't and have an Instagram account but don't follow us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram because
we're also close to 4,000
We're
there.
so close, guys.
and
so
we
close.
will. I think we definitely should do some kind of extra prize when we hit that.
Yes,
number.
we should.
Yeah.
So this way, if you like and subscribe, you can get notifications and you'll find out what it is that we do.
Yep. And help us get there faster.
And help us get there faster. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. We so appreciate it. You can follow us online. We're Shop Yarnia pretty much everywhere.
Down here.
Little Linky Loos down
Mhm.
there. And
And if you're celebrating Thanksgiving here in the U.S., have a lovely
Have a great
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
If
Safe
you're
travels.
celebrating
Safe travels.
something else somewhere else, enjoy that too.
enjoy.
And we look forward to hearing about your holiday traditions.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's time
for
for
That's
Clarendon.
it's time for Clarendon, which means it's time for us to go. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Take
Bye.
care.